Live from various points across the world, it's the Late Night Grin with your hosts, Joel Hulbert, the Oracle of Wrestling, Confirmed Shoot, and Bob O'Neill. Ladies and gentlemen, let's grin.
You heard the man, folks. Let's grin indeed. Taking it back old school. 3 years removed from the first episode of this glorious program, the flagship, of course, that is. And we're back for a triumphant occasion. We are just over 50 minutes away from launching LNG Gold. We're here to celebrate. We're here to party. We're here to talk graps. And we have quite the team in front of you here. We're going to have some guests stopping by. Also, confirm shoot, you're tickled. What's up, brother?
Oh, poor JJ had a pre-planned joke. Didn't realize Bob was going to be here.
To be fair, Bob, you did announce, Bob, you wasn't going to be here. So you're here. Hello.
I did.
Oh, I forgot.
Hello,
you
yeah,
going to be here.
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't going to be here. I'm only going to be here for a few minutes, but it's a historic night, and I felt like I should be here for a little bit.
I would agree. You are an original. Much like Tommy Dreamer and Sabu in 2006, you represent the true, the life of hardcore.
Bobby and DMD thing, Bob. You ever done that before?
What's that?
The DMD hand motion?
Yeah, no.
So, I'm glad you're here, Bobby. Feel free to step out whenever you need to. Novi back in the building after Friday's grin. Not sure all of that age great for you, but you're here nonetheless because you're a true soldier. How are you this evening, brother?
I stood on business on Friday. Yeah. I'll remain to stand on business, but in a different way. I'll reframe the narrative, but I am high on All In, so we're feeling good.
Okay. Reframing narrative. That's what Bob does. Caden Lee, you're back. You won, I think, that war on Friday, ultimately. You didn't win many other wars on that show, but you won that one, which was the big one. That's what counted. You're still a controversial figure when it comes to contract status, but you're here. How are you, brother?
I took my victory lap on Friday. I'll take another one. Bryan Danielson won. I feel like I won the war. I feel fantastic, Joe.
You won the battle.
You sound fantastic. You look triumphant. It's great. We'll see. We'll see about this battle and war talk. Confirm shoot.
Hello.
Original. If I'm Sabu and Bob's the Sandman, are you Tommy Dreamer?
Sure.
There's not really any good options, really, is there?
No, there's really not. Yeah, I'm here. I'm alive. I've watched the same professional wrestling match 3 times in the last 30 hours, which is very rare for me. Princess Diana's back. We're flying high tonight.
Yeah. To be clear, for anyone who's just listening, that is a reference to a super chat. There isn't some sort of conspiracy reveal that Manny may be bringing to us later. I don't know, but yeah, good times.
Is that a spoiler that Manny's going to be here later?
I haven't invited. Should I invite him?
No.
He'll listen to this in like a week during his work day. He'll tweet, "What the fuck? Matt didn't want me on LNG Gold launch." Let me
send him a link. Yes.
Yes, I'll send.
We need his Nigel victory lap.
Bob Phil dead air.
You remember Manny replaced Oracle for a while?
Yeah, killed the show. We lasted like another month after that.
Yeah, but hopefully he can make it tonight.
Hope. Hard sell there from Bob.
Bob, what are your thoughts on One Final Beat?
I didn't watch that match because I don't. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Enough Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah, I'll tell you, who hasn't seen enough of Gargano and Ciampa. The big man back in the building.
What was your thoughts on One Final Beat?
Oh, it wasn't very good. This is a live stream. Are we live?
We're live. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is this? What's going on right now?
I don't know. Just hanging out. Just partying. LNG Gold is just under 50 minutes away.
Grin Grappler Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Oh, so is this? I feel like Manny right now because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You're
Is
fine.
this like the paywall thing? What's up?
No, you're not safe. Don't say anything crazy.
Okay, Ibu,
okay.
so what we're doing is we're doing a countdown because at midnight Joe's turning the subscriptions on.
Yes.
Basically, we're
Oh.
just trying to scam people into give us money before we
Yes.
ask them to give us money by sending us.
Oh, so
This
it's
is-
almost like it's like telethon vibes. It's like the big launch, the big thing.
Yeah.
It's the kickoff show.
This is promotion. This is packaging. This is marketing.
We have a few
You know,
video packages to play.
I was ready to just drop news bombs on Joe. I thought the cameras are off. I was like, all right, so look, man, this guy's going to the WWF.
We can turn our cameras off. Everyone turn your cameras off.
Could you imagine if I legitimately just didn't know we were live, right? And I came in, I'm like, Joe, so here's the deal, man. This guy told Tony to fuck off. And, and it's like, everybody turned it off.
Look, I ain't doing it because I'm scared. I'm
He
scared.
can't do it.
I'm scared. Because
No,
you know, I was there last week or whenever it was on that hanging with Hulbert when you were getting you were dangerous. You almost got us aggregated. Come on.
Oh my God. Joe was so, I rewatched that stream.
I was
And
terrified.
Joe, on multiple occasions, I'm like, don't aggregate me, guys. And Joe's face, he did not have confidence that I wasn't going to get aggregated. So he just kept like,
Yes.
he had this face like, I can't leave the situation, but I'm not trying to stand here in like in clear
You
view.
were,
I was in the super chats trying to get aggregated. Spell our name right.
my worst fear is like one day I get sent a Reddit link and it's like Eva of Wrestle Purist says, and I click on it, it's hanging with Holt, and all the comments are like, look at the big fat fuck listening to this thinking it's funny, you know?
You know what? I'm going to be transparent right now. You know what I've done lately when I speak to wrestlers? When they try to tell me things and do the whole off record, brother, and I go, can I go on record? Yeah, right. And when I say, can I go on record and report this? And they go, oh, kayfabe, brother, K5, brother. You know what I do? You know what I tell them now? And it kind of works. It's worked a couple times. Come on, man. Dave's going to get it on Friday. You don't want to give it to Dave. and then they'll be like, really?
That's not
I'm
even
like,
true.
and I'm like, Dave's going to get it on Friday. Do you want that? And they're like, fuck that then, brother. Do what you got to do. And I'm like, yeah. So I don't know why I'm putting this accent on. None of the people I've spoken to sound like this.
I
But
was gonna say, like, are you chatting with Hogan now, or
listen, brother, you can't kill my heat, brother. But nevertheless, okay. So I guess this is a cool stream here. I appreciate you guys for having me on. I don't know if you noticed, Joe. I have my old
I'm wearing my old emoji.
Yeah, I'm on my old phone, so that's why I put that. But how are you guys doing?
We're great. Manny cannot make it. He's just informed me.
He's a piece of shit, you know. Like it just.
But we're great. We're
Let
of course
someone
on the
else say it.
heels. We're on the heels of AEW All In, which my goodness, it was a hell of a
Bob did not
time.
watch?
Did you not watch Bob?
I got a DM from him yesterday. It was like, I'm not watching this AEW horse shit. I'm
I
sick
did.
of Bryan
Wow.
Danielson.
Another one of those.
Yeah.
I watched that whole show. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. That's my review.
Bob out of 10, right?
7.5.
7.5. Star rating on the that was too easy. It's star rating on the ladder match. I'm not going to put you in a bad spot. Looks at the sky. Tribute to Oracle.
Probably like 3 3/4. I actually really liked it. I
Wow.
really like those matches, but I had a really good time with it.
I'll say this, dude. That bump Juice took, where he like went just like dick first on the ropes, was
Yeah, that was
insane.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
The
good
ladder is
professional.
very distracting.
God damn.
Right, mate? You okay there?
Oh my God! What the fuck? Jeez.
Could be a very, very unfortunate way to celebrate LNG Gold, but we'll continue now.
I just like choke on air. I was gonna say, I was really mad. I had to give that 3.5 stars. You know, I just.
Well, you didn't have to, did you? I didn't.
You should-
Okay, full transparency. Did I get 3.5?
I think you did.
Full
You
transparency.
fucking
I gave Dragon and Swerve 4 3/4, and I put a disclaimer and was like, look, if I'm the only one who's preventing this from being a Wrestle Purist 5, just ignore me, because my surrounding my setting was a row of empty seats and two of the most annoying people in the world that were chanting like "fuck you, D-Bry." So it was not, kind of a ceiling capper for me. Unfortunately, it was not as fun as but it was great. Obviously,
That explains why
match was-
Oracle's not here. Must be on a plane.
he was in Wembley. That match was so great it transcended that. But that's the thing with stadiums, genuinely, that is fascinating. Is every section is different, right? And it's like in the Jackie Perry match, I could hear the other crowd, the other side chanting like "fuck CM Punk" and "Cry Me a River," but for whatever reason, our bit was dead silent. And it's such a big room, you can't get a good read on atmosphere sometimes. So I need to rewatch some of the stuff. But I had a great time. Novi, what did you make of AEW All In?
It brought my love for this great sport back again. I started watching old matches. I'd been out of the game since July. I wasn't caught up on New Japan. I wasn't caught up on Stardom. Started to feel it again. It was beautiful.
Wow, that's very strong. Shoot, you've watched the main event 3 times.
I have, mostly to poke holes in it. I have some critiques. I have some criticisms.
You're a big match review guy.
I am, yeah.
Spreadsheets and stuff.
Bryan Danielson landed on a ring bell on the back of his head and came up with his forehead bleeding. Took me out of the match.
What's your cage match account?
I don't have one.
Kevin Von Erich forever.
I saw Kevin Von Erich's cage match score, and I fucking got so mad that I was like, I'm never signing up for this site.
Oh my god! To that point, I was talking to AO Joe, and he was telling me like he admitted that basically like he doesn't know too much about Sid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I'm on his cage match right now to see what's recommended, and me and Joe, like. That's not the site you go to for Sid. You know what I mean?
No.
And he's reading these like cage match scores, and I'm like, I want to punch a wall. Like he's like, I don't know, bro. His number 10 is like a 5.7, and I'm like,
he is the one wrestler, contrary to popular belief, considering the show we're doing tomorrow. But we legitimately could not do a Grin grappler like traditionally with him because his best real match, to me anyway, is the Goldberg match where he bleeds everywhere.
Yeah,
but we did that for the Bill show. So when you take that off, it's like we could do the Garden with Sean, right? But then it's slim pickings. But that's kind of why he rules, right? AO would pop if AO watched him in real time, watched his promos, and stuff, he would pop huge.
No, I explained to him by saying, think about Big Bill's current appeal and multiply that by like 10, and that's kind of like Sid. And
there's a myth that like a guy like wouldn't get over now. It's like he absolutely would get over now. 100%.
Absolutely.
Wardlow got over a couple of years ago, dude.
Yeah, and he stinks. Like so, that's the thing about wrestling.
We have a message. Yeah. We have a message from Manny.
We do.
Manny says, "Hey guys, I wish I could be here with y'all tonight, but unfortunately, I'm out of commission. Cheers to LNG Good. Tonight we celebrate, or in my case, tomorrow morning. We should have called it LNG Good."
So how's this going to affect my pay, Joe Hulbert? Like, what's going on?
You get paid?
I can't tell you. Big moment.
Kayfabe, brother.
I added Evo to the spreadsheet.
Really?
Yes. That spreadsheet now has like 19 names because as is the LNG roster at this point. We rotation. Dynamite 2021 rotation. Yes, you will soon be getting paid, yes.
I can tell you that Joe reached out to me earlier this week about my pay and let me know that I'd earned 12 cents over the last 3 months.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wanted to know if I wanted it now or later.
Well, actually, that one was funny because I said, basically, I paid Bob. I know Bob knows it's not, but I paid Bob and I paid Oracle. Probably should have told them that actually, but I paid them both. And I text Shu because then it's coming out of my account now, right? Because I forget when it all gets added to my account. I look at my balance, and go, oh, baby, I'm doing great. I forget it. Half is mine, more than half, but nevertheless. So I messaged Matt and I'm thinking, hopefully he doesn't want this money. So, do you want your money now or next month? And he goes, I don't mind. It's okay. It'll be next month then, bro. I
knew why you were asking me.
That's like 4 Zinger burgers from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let me give me some wiggle room. Montel is in the chat. Let's get some super chats in. Before we do that, actually, Caden, what did you think of AEW All In? I should ask.
I thought All In was a really great show. I enjoyed pretty much all of it except for 2 matches that I'm pretty sure everybody didn't enjoy. But besides those two, which I just kind of use as a bathroom break anyways, I had a pretty good time. And by the end of it, I was crying. So can't go wrong with that type of show.
It was very moving.
Most of the main event, honestly.
It was very moving. Yeah, there was a moment when it's like Dragon has that thing right in these big matches, especially when he's doing the yes deal, especially like when he gets set up in the corner for the big knee and the place comes up and you could see just like people jumping up and down. You could just feel that emotion. It was very special.
When during his entrance, when they turn his music off, I've never seen anything like that before. It didn't last very long, but like the initial yes was, good God, man.
I'm honestly quite furious that they didn't have enough time left to like actually let that moment sink in for a little bit.
I said to Matt, so I could tell when you guys went off the air because like the one of the feeds stopped, and I said to my brother, that was quick. And then about 10 seconds later, they cut the music. Like, so when Dragon was walking up the ramp, there was no music. Also, I don't know if anyone got video of this, but thank goodness nothing happened. But Brian's son is Buddy, right?
Yeah.
Poor Buddy was running wild on the stage and legitimately run off the ramp.
Jesus.
Brie like hooked him, and then she let him go, and he was running. And she, in the end, she just conceded and just picked him up. He was on one. He was having the time of his life.
I wonder. God, this is me being me, but like, I wonder if there's like a noise ordinance where when they hit the time they had to.
Maybe.
Wembley, it's a 10:30 p.m. curfew, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's the final countdown.
God, I'm such a dork that popped in my
head. If only there was a match in the second half of the card that was like pretty bad, and they gave it 17 minutes, they could have trimmed, and they could have had 3 more minutes of 5 more minutes of the final countdown. You know.
Wait. The match that you're talking about, Joe, it went 7 year.
What? It wasn't a match. I wasn't talking about a match. What are you talking about?
It went 17 minutes.
Felt like 40.
Apparently it did.
Was it really 17?
Yeah,
it went longer than Mariah and Tony.
Yeah, that's the one I want because I thought they had a really good match, but I want to rewatch it.
I'm gonna give the LNG folks here. How many live viewers do we have right now, Joe?
305.
100.
That's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube, yes.
All right, so it's the deepest of freakazoids with us right now, and I feel comfortable sharing with you guys. I'm gonna keep it back, like I didn't really blurt this out on worldwide, but no one's looking. The funniest development last night, Joe Hulbert, was who followed me at the end of the evening?
The Machine Gun, Carl Anderson.
Who do you think is the funniest wrestler that could possibly follow me last night?
Britt Baker.
Hulk Hogan.
Britt Baker followed me.
Hell yeah.
Of course she did.
Telling stories, brother.
Gotta flip the narrative.
That was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
That is terrifying, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this isn't a normal follow. This isn't like, oh, who's this guy? Boop. Like, no, that's not what's going on.
A normal follow.
Yeah, like, it's not.
Did you do any like unfortunate Brit tweets?
He did. He deleted it though.
Okay.
He was right, to be fair.
Oh, you don't know about that, Joe?
No, I don't. I don't need to know either. I'm innocent.
K5, I didn't make any tweets, but I made many tweets.
I'll text you, Joe.
I don't even know what we're talking about that match. I wasn't even referencing any match in particular. Anyway, we have super chats. Folks, please like the video. It helps us out. Very, very exciting. I just see here that Maxwell Jacob Friedman is making an appearance for MCW Pro Wrestling. This is not an official advertisement. I just get paid to tell you that. All right, super chats. Princess Diana, Hulbert and Late Night Grin go gold. Jamie Hayter back. Nigel back. Oasis reunited. Mother-in-law still in the ground. Makes one proud to be British. You know what I will say while Princess Di brings it up? Jesus, wet. Sorry, I just. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm never patriotic. The moment when Zach came in, cleaned house, and then Nigel gave him the tap on the shoulder was like a genuine, like classic British wrestling moment. That legitimately popped me huge, and they had a little sequence in there. It was very, very fun. So, yes, some of those things I co-sign, most of them. Actually, JJ is many hours ago. Thank you, JJ. He says this party's for my favorite big man, Sid. Indeed, we'll going to circle back on that. Always be master and rule of the world. Thank you. It was very, I must admit, as wrestling fans, we've kind of, unfortunately, we're all used to like the titans of yesteryear. Like, we lose a lot of them, right? Like it's not, you kind of get, cynical is the wrong word, but you kind of get, callous to it, I guess. But because we did that Sid show so recently, it kind of rattled me because it seemed like Sid had he'd actually just like moved on from wrestling and was just being like a granddad and was popping himself. Like it was, and so it rattled me, to be honest with you. But I'm glad we did that show, and we went pretty long, right, Bob? What was the length? Like 2.5 hours?
Oh yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very unique little piece of history there. I think that episode details. I haven't really got much to add on it beyond that. It did rattle me, and I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about how much we love Sid and how quirky he is, a piece of that kind of wrestling era. I guess a couple eras, in fact. But Alex said it a bunch of times on that show. 2 WrestleManias he worked, he main evented both of them. It's the Sid story.
Joe, have you seen the famous Brett angle where he like shoves Vince and says this is bullshit and was complaining about getting screwed?
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite. There's so many great parts of that segment, but one of my favorites is when Sid just walks out and Brett's like, "Ask Sid even." He knows that I should be the WWF champion, and he just hears Sid off mic like, "I don't know shit, pal." Whatever. And he was like, "I don't know shit."
He's the best, dude.
He's awesome. He's awesome. I don't know if you saw my big. Best. I don't know if you saw my big post where I wrote I wrote this whole thing on Sid, right? Mm-hmm. My favorite part of the story I shared was that. When I was a kid, like discovering who Sid was, because when I was a kid, like part of my fandom was like just discovering things that existed right before I got into wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember, I thought Sid was so cool, and just off like the pictures I saw of him on Google, to be honest with you. But I remember thinking, Joe, I was like, what did this guy wrestle my current favorite, The Undertaker? And so I looked it up. I was like, Undertaker versus Sid.
This must be a classic.
Joe, I was clapping my hands together. You know what I mean? I couldn't pour wine. I poured maybe some grape juice or something. I was ready to go, locked and loaded. Watch that match. Oh, man.
Did you think it was sick at the time?
Yeah. I was like, oh, this
damn right you did. I'm glad you didn't lie. That's awesome. All right, this is a fun one. Mid-take, Super Chair, we appreciate you. He says, favorite obscure ECW matches? Each of you also please explain the tiers again. I will explain the tiers. Is Ebu the only ECW guy among us?
Yeah, I don't have one.
I'm not. Yeah, this is one for you, but throw a couple out for mid-takes. ECW matches, obscure ECW matches in particular.
I forgot the name of the jobber, but it's Taz and this one jobber in '96. I'll look it up on YouTube and find the name of the guy. It went 6 minutes and was awesome. Got to keep it obscure. This is kind of obscure, I guess, if you're a casual that doesn't know much. But Steve Corino versus. Who'd he face? It was Corino versus Justin Credible in Hammerstein Ballroom in September 2000. And the big thing here was Heyman was trying Corino as a babyface. And he just kind of came off as this kind of CM Punkish type of babyface. And that match is awesome. Another underrated one. Kind of feel weird mentioning Credible again, but Shane Douglas versus Justin Credible at CyberSlam 1999. This is the best Shane Douglas match I've ever seen, and that's pretty much the only descriptor I have of that one. And let me do one more. Tommy Dreamer versus C.W. Anderson at Guilty as Charged 2001.
C.W. All right.
C.W. Anderson, yeah. There you go.
Did you see he's working MLW? Did you see that?
Fuck no.
Him and Brock Anderson are going to be the Andersons in MLW.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, locked in.
Oh my god, the collective amount of hair in that match, would it even
so sick, so sick.
Any Danny Doring Roadkill opening tag from 99 2000 is pretty good.
Pop. All right, let's do some tier explaining. Okay, we're launching in just under half an hour here, folks. Your first tier, $1.99, Joe Hulbert Promotions. This will get you the Hulbert House Show once a week. And each week we bookended with My Match Monday, Fav Fight Friday, both match review shows that you guys will decide the matches for. If you suggest a match, it will be covered. at some point. The Monday show is for current matches. The Friday show is for older matches. Your second tier, $3.99. It used to be better. You have some monthly specials here. You have Full Sail Behind, my NXT Retro Series. There we go, confirm shoot. My NXT Retro Series, going back a decade. We're going to have a rotating guest on that one. We're going to have Oracle's School of Wrestling, which is about to hype up, I'm hoping, here very shortly. We have Grindication, as Oracle and I go and watch an old C show, and we also have a retro pay-per-view Grinalong and a retro wrestling TV Grinalong, both of which will be voted on by you. We'll give you guys polls, and the members will decide which one we watch. Then, in at $5.99, right? Yes, $5.99. The Grinner Circle tier. The big thing here, well, really the big thing is Confirm Shoot and I booking on TEW.
Eventually.
But the other thing that apparently people are excited about is we're going to be doing live Grinalongs for both AEW pay-per-views and WWE pay-per-views starting this Saturday with Bash in Berlin. There is a fourth tier, Grinner Gold, I'm pretty sure we called it. I forget because I don't want to promote it much. Basically, it's $9.99 if you want to support us, go extra and go beyond. I don't want to advertise exclusive shows for that tier because there is not a single show we do that's worth $5.99, let alone $9.
Yeah.
But it's there. Tope suggested that was a good idea. He said, like, for people that want to go extra, give them the option. Because I know on Patreon we kind of let the guy, the Grinners decide. So that fourth tier is there. We're going to generally push the other three. I think I covered everything. But I know, Eva, you've got some. There'll be some other stuff, right? That isn't advertised that will creep in. I think it's fair to say.
I'll put it to you this way, folks. If you ever hear that Enter Sandman music playing in the arena, that means the backup is coming, And
Here you go.
yeah, I'll be all over this, and you can expect me, if you want me, to be in some of this content. And so, in that vein, Joe, I think it's time for me to make an announcement.
An announcement. I love announcements.
Yeah. Even Joe isn't technically aware of what I'm about to say, but he may have an inkling, This Saturday, I don't fucking know what day it is anymore. I will be in the Grinalong for Bash in Berlin. Ready to go, locked and loaded. Gunny and Randall, Cody and Kevin Owens, whatever the fuck else is on that show. I'll be there.
Matches.
three matches.
I don't follow the product, but I know that.
Drew Punk.
Drew and Punk.
KO Cody. And then Gunny and Randall with some wine.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
So that's going to be our first official show this Saturday. You just heard it. Eva Wrestle Purists will be there. As for stuff that also, that's when we kind of really launch, like from a show point of view. But let's be honest, you know how we operate around here. There's a very good chance there's like a show like tomorrow or Thursday or that stuff's going to happen. There'll be stuff that just pops up, but I only want to advertise the stuff that like we know we're going to try and do each month. So
I have two questions before I go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ibu.
Sorry. Because I'm about to leave, but I have two questions.
Right.
Number one, how terrified are you? Because I've always thought of doing this, but how terrified are you of someone asking you to cover a match you just don't want to watch?
I'm pretty scared. Yeah, pretty scared.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
Because the pool of matches I want to watch is so slim now.
I'm going to subscribe just so I can make Joe watch matches. Are you kidding me?
When I get on the tier, and I'm like, Joe, check out this week's Bronson Reed match. And we should do that, Rib. We should.
I've got Britt Baker's cage match bookmark, and I'm just going to run down all of her matches. All of her pre-AEW work, Joe's going to be reviewing.
I will happily part with a couple bucks to make him watch bad wrestling, or not even bad, just wrestling he doesn't want to see. Like,
Dude, there's a lot of wrestling I don't want to watch as well. You know this.
Yes.
Joe Hulbert's weekly Danhausen review.
The amount of red chest people are about to recommend.
Joe, you know what they announced next week for? Oh no, he's not in the match. They announced 2 3-ways for Raw, and I got mixed up. I thought they put all 3 red chest guys in one match. They put 2. But Dragunov was in a different one. But
I saw that match looks good. To be fair, that match looks good.
They both look good. What
Mhm.
my other question is, do I get this shit for free? Do I gotta pay too? Like for this content?
I'm hoping to be able to hook up our 25-man roster with, but I don't know how it works. You know, like
Yeah,
hopefully I
that's
can
what-
give you like a link, right?
right.
That's the
Hell yeah.
plan.
In the meantime, while you're figuring that
yes.
out, I'll just pay to make you watch the wrestling you don't want to see.
Oh, you're going to be doing a lot of heinous acts. I know that full well. That'll be fine. All right. Anything else, EB? I know you're on your way, but I appreciate the announcement. Very exciting.
Yes, that's about it. And I appreciate being invited to this thing that I didn't even know was happening. And thank you, Joe. Hope you had fun at All In. And thank you guys for having me. I will see you guys around.
Thanks for
Speak
raising
soon,
my
mate.
pay.
There
All
you
right.
go. Indeed. Houses are up. All right. Thank you for the question, mid takes. Eddie asks, how do you sign up? So when I hit on, we don't know how this is going to work officially. We don't know. In theory, I have to hit on, and you guys will see a button that says next to subscribe, it will say join, and then you can sign up for what tier you want. Now, the chances of that going without issue are honestly almost non-existent, if we're being real.
Bob,
Right,
he's
but
gonna
we're gonna
hit the
try
button, and he's gonna get a note saying there's like a 3-day review period, and I'm
100%,
gonna lose my mind.
100%. It's almost a lock. It's the way it works. Basically, is there are a bunch of steps you have to complete to be verified for membership, and I've done those. So in theory, I should just be able to hit the button. But theory is, a shitty wrestler in WWE. Bobby Kennedy, back at it. Fellow Bob, glad to see you. We are going to win. Bob, your faults.
Nope.
You want to do an endorsement tonight, Bob?
Nope.
Saving it for the paywall. Connor Stallion. Took me a second. Bob, I'm backstage at Raw dressed as a security guard. Got all the scoops. Now you can break away from LNG and go solo. Just like we talked about.
There we go.
Joe, you don't know who Connor Stallions is, do you?
I'm not getting into this, please.
No, it's not even. He's the
Huh?
assistant coach from Michigan who was cheating and stealing plays. It doesn't have anything
I
to do
thought
with
it was.
wrestling.
I thought it was someone very different. I think
I know
what
you
thought
did.
it was.
I know exactly what you thought it was.
And then when I read beyond it, I thought it'd be referenced to something very different. I was very alarmed, to be honest with you. I thought Bob was about to be accused of some things. I was very scared. That fella did have a good match with the FTR though. Darren Cagey. Am I wrong?
No,
Shout
you're
out
not
Hangman,
wrong.
the best full-time pro wrestler of 2025.
Full time is good luck.
What does that mean? I'm confused.
I assume it's a prediction. Maybe next year will be his first full time year.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I love
What is
Hangman.
Novi, what does this mean, Novi? Explain this.
It means that Shoot's out here spreading nasty propaganda
Well, yeah,
that we
that's
cannot
true.
allow.
That's nothing new. But what is this Darren Cagey business? Is this a prediction or is it a spoiler?
I think it's a spoiler. I think it's just reading the tea leaves is what I'm hearing.
Any younger wrestler I like, I'm just going to describe them as the best full-time wrestler of and then just insert a year. It's basically just your way going, all the old fucks will be gone then. We'll be left with this slot. We'll be fine. My favorite is Daniel Garcia, the best full-time pro wrestler of 2033. Wheeler Yuta, the best full-time wrestler of 2038. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good God.
Speaking of 2038, the big man is back. The Oracle of Wrestling. What a substitution. Ibu out, Oracle in. My goodness. Big business. Hello, Oracle.
Hello?
Hello.
Have you begun your journey through 6?
Oh no, not yet. I've got about. It's gonna take me about 2.5 hours too. That's funny,
Bro, I'm the one person. Well, no, Bob's fine, but I was happy to do it, and I spaced them out over 5 days because I knew she has 3 moves. You can't watch him one after the other. You're gonna be in hell by the end of that last match. Forearms and
you gotta
such.
understand, I'm gonna be fine, bro.
You're an animal, yeah. You're different.
It'll
I have
be
to watch them all tomorrow.
You'll be fine. Bobby will be popping huge. We'll get some great tweets out of it. But I'm telling you, Oracle, you're going to be fine, but you will message me. 2019 WWE atmosphere it will stun you for a second. I'm telling you. It's different, man. You forget how bad it got.
Yeah.
The Iconics are doing their shtick, and the people are just looking at it, just sitting there in agony. Just no fun, no emotion.
Like watching Dynamite.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not at all like watching Dynamite. That's the thing. It's actually insane. But we're gonna have fun. Oracle. I know you're fired up for this LNG Gold business, brother. We just got the big announcement. Ebu is going to be on the Bash in Berlin Grinalong this Saturday for our Grinner Circle tier. Very exciting. Oracle, how fired up are you for this LNG Gold business, brother?
I'm very excited. I unfortunately won't be able to be on the Bash in Berlin watch along
Right.
because football on.
Football.
And mostly because my mediocre team that plays every Saturday, their game starts at 4:15, and that's kind of cutting it close for the main event, and I don't want to.
It's dangerous.
Not to mention, no, but the worst part is I'm going to a buddy's house, which is fine because he'll be out of town like all September for work. He's a Vols fan, so I'll have to sit around and watch the Vols first before I can watch the Gamecocks. So
you were quite mad about this, which popped me.
Yeah, it's fine.
What match on Berlin are you most looking forward to at the big three?
The main event, Randy and Gunny.
Yeah. For sure.
So Late Night Grin Gold. The gimmicks. I have chosen to make myself known on this program to promote and anticipate the launching of the new endeavor that we have taken. Not purchased by Endeavor, but just the endeavor that we have taken.
Not yet.
Yeah, not.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And I have 2 programs I'll be doing with Joe monthly.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're called Grindication and the School of Wrestling. The Oracle's School of Wrestling would be
fucking right. Put
actual...
yourself over. Go for it.
So Grindication is a watch along of syndicated television.
Correct.
Wrestling television.
We're not gonna watch Big Bang Theory.
I mean, we're gonna give it it's broad, Joe. We've discussed this. It's broad. It's technically there will be a lot of B shows. There you go.
You gotta update the logo.
There'll be a lot of B show availability, but it will be. So the only shows that aren't qualified will be like Nitro. Can't do Nitro Thunder, Raw, SmackDown. Can't do Saturday night before Nitro, like the Saturday nights before Nitro.
Because it's like the main show.
Can't do those. But every Worldwide's available from like the early 90s on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Every Pro, every Velocity, every Heat, every Jacked/Metal, every main event up to right before COVID starts. Every Superstar is up to right before COVID starts. Every challenge from like the early 90s on. Every Superstars from the beginning of 93 till the end.
And you want to make it you want to do like the month for it.
Correct.
Too, right?
So it's going to be, I know I'm kind of droning on with it, but like it's very broad. So we're going to have we're going to do something from the month of September. When we start next month. So it'll be a show from September or shows because some
may be called
like
package.
Multiple shows from a month. Usually the show won't go more than like 2 hours 15, 2 hours 20, depending on the video or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be the longest ones, depending on. But that's Grindication. So we'll do those monthly. Wide variety of stuff. Wide variety of availability. I will announce the time period and company that we're going to do the week, like the week or two of, or like before. I don't want to give out specific things necessarily, because
leak it to Mike Johnson.
Exactly. You don't want,
There you go.
of Endeavor, you don't want them involved.
New logo. There you go.
But, and then, as I continue to filibuster, The second program we'll be doing, and this is one that I really want to put in some great effort on. This is the School of Wrestling. The Oracle of Wrestling presents School of Wrestling. Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. Beauty.
And we are going to have a series of sort of little mini deep dives over the course of a couple of months. So beginning this September, our first project will be obscure findings of ruthless aggression.
Which is a bit of a blind spot for me, as many of you will know.
So, and this is not just like, we're going to watch a really good Los Guerreros tag. No, fuck that, man.
I'm already doing that anyway.
No.
Bob perked up immediately.
We're watching.
He did, yeah.
You ever interested how good or bad Tatanka might have been in 2006 SmackDown?
I'm very interested.
We're going to find that out.
Yes, we are.
Are we interested in whether or not the Jamie Noble and Pitbull or Jamie Noble and Kid Cash tag team known as the Pitbulls, were they any good? Did they have good?
They must have been, if we're being honest with each other.
Some unique matches with some big names that have been talked about in message board circles and things.
Deuce and Domino
will also be covered, and this will go through December. So. Well, there's some kinks and stuff we'll have to fix and work out and some details more, but that's from September through December. Each month, we're going to tackle ruthless aggression in a very in-depth, curious.
We could do some Festus, Oracle.
There you go. Yeah, Festus and Taker. That might be one of the more interesting matches we could do for sure. Mexicools, yeah. I'm thinking another match I can throw out. Maybe we could do some of the interesting Bob Holly tag teams over the years.
There we go.
Most certainly can.
Now
yes,
I'm
we
paying
can.
money. You got my money.
So,
yes, please.
We're gonna get into some interesting things here, and that's through December, and then come January, we'll have another project to tackle through maybe around Mania, and then. So on and so forth.
It's worth noting too. So
it's like you have a syllabus, Oracle.
Oh yeah,
School of Wrestling is not
like wild text one day, a couple weeks back.
I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. School of Wrestling, it should be noted too. So this is going to be a show we'll get ahead of time. We'll get you guys the lineup of what we're discussing because this will not be a watch along show.
Correct.
This will be. I will do my homework as the student. And Oracle and I will discuss the matches in question, which I'm sure will lead to all sorts of hilarious places. And
because these matches are not going to be on Grin Grappler, most likely. They're not going to be, there might be a little crossover here and there, but that we try not to do that. So there's so much stuff we can pick from, in all the stuff we do. But yeah, this is, and I think Ruthless Aggression is a good period. First of all, it's funny because it's a period that we can rib Bobby for, and then, Joe gets mad whenever I talk about how I want to watch Ruthless Aggression stuff again. And so it's
I'm in the team now.
This is we can really spin it and make it actually interesting instead of just watching, JBL promos or something,
We could do that too.
True. We could do that, but
we could.
I'm sure they edited many of those out of the Peacock, so.
Probably for the best. I hear he's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back, but he's around again. He's doing something, JBL.
That's what I hear.
He appeared to... it sure seems like he hired a social media manager a couple months ago, to me anyway.
Possibly.
Almost like he was preparing for some sort of...
Awfully quiet there, Bob.
Will has a super chat. He says rank stadium matches. Uso versus Uso. Cody versus Solo. Monet versus Britt. I think the Uso match is comfortably the third match there. The worst match.
Cody Cole was the best.
Yes,
though I thought it was boring and long. I talked about this in our chat, Joe.
Yeah, go for it.
Monet and Britt was actually really well put together, structurally, but I mean,
yeah.
Mercedes worked pretty hard,
and that did not occur. So, but in terms of the actual layout of the match, it was if it was actually the people who were in it were actually great, it would have been a great match. But the problem is they weren't.
Yeah.
In particular, one person. So
Yeah, not naming names. Cody and Solo is boring, but like mechanically fine. And then they have the bells and whistles of Alton and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The USO match is by far the
was
worst.
bad in
That's
every way. Structure, pacing,
By far.
everything.
The super kick stretch in the USO match is one of the worst things ever. And that's a big Usos fan. You know, it just is what it is. You have to be honest, right? But yeah, I think that's a fair response. I wonder if someone will suggest that for one of the matches to review for my
Won't be me.
retro review deal. Uso versus Uso. To be fair, I reviewed that pretty comprehensively. It hurt, but I did my best.
I'm going to talk about my shows, Joe.
Please do, mate.
I only have one.
You do.
So what I was going to say is our TEW journey. Give us a little bit of time on that.
Yes.
We think we found what we're going to do. Should I go ahead and talk about it, Joe?
Please do. Yeah.
Okay. So basically it's going to be the new version of TEW, which I haven't even bought yet. I don't know if Joe's played it yet.
No.
My plan at this point is to not play it till we do it on the air because I think that's funnier. But there's a database, which is basically the hypothetical where when WWF bought WCW, Shane McMahon, it's like Shane McMahon actually owning WCW in its own separate thing, and
it's like his own venture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the issue we have is that the database is not fully done, and there's a 2.0 version that's coming out, so we have to wait for that to get done. So that's what I was really getting to, is give us a little bit of time on this.
Yes.
Because we don't want to just rush into something, and because the two of us will go nuts if I want to play this without us messing with the database. So I want it to be, because we'll be very tempted to be like, well, hold on.
The only
thing better.
Yeah, the only thing we'll tamper with is we're going to operate under the idea that like a couple of guys are going to go to this.
Yes. Yeah,
project,
we're going
right?
to. I think we're going to pick 5 people. That we're going to try to be realistic about who they would have let go. Like, we're not going to take Stone Cold Steve Austin, or we'll pick people that we probably think Vince would have parted with at the time, since it's going to something that he technically would own a piece of anyway. And the other thing that we've got some other things we've talked about, but that's really early in development, and we'll see if it actually ever happens. And then the other thing I'm probably going to do is just pop up now and then, whether it's with Joe or, something shooting range, basically, like we've talked about before.
Shooting range, and there's also going to be room for, and this is something that we're not going to advertise because it may be months it doesn't happen, but we are certainly open to the idea of doing quite literal Grinner Circle hangouts now, where if there's a few of us around, we just hop on for the Grinner Circle tier. And because with the Grin, the way we do it now, we ain't really got to worry about burning topics, right? Because we're like, the way we schedule those shows is okay now. So that would be something to look for. We are under 5 minutes away from the launch of LNG Gold. Very, very anxious to see if this actually works. If not, kind of part of the charm, we're being honest, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely have to call Endeavor then.
Yeah. I'll get Nick Khan on the phone, don't worry. This would be a show too. The impromptu Bok talk. Nick just texted me. I want to
confirm shoot School of Wrestling, and it's just Nick Bockwinkel. School of Bach. Hold on. You can take that School of Rock logo and make that a B pretty easily, probably.
And now we're talking. How many of our panel here tonight? How many of you guys saw the Uncle Howdy in-ring debut?
I watched it. It was weird to see that. It's just weird to they worked a work rate match with
it was strange.
Sports Entertainment finish with interference and shit. It was bizarre.
It kind of
bad. It was just weird.
It kind of makes sense with the framework they presented, but this is why I brought it up. You went straight to my point, Oracle, in the sense of I thought both stuff actually looked good, but him starting with a tight lockup, legitimately, I yelled laughing at that. It makes sense because they've said he's just Bo Dallas, right? He's not But God, it's funny
like
because
the
he looks
mask and
insane.
everything.
Yeah, he looks insane, and
He's over here doing like final cuts and shit with the mask
he did a
on.
cravat. He got a cravat. He was working like 2015 Chris Hero.
Speaking of, what was up with it? Like, the match wasn't very good, but like Xavier Woods decided he was going to work like Claudio Castagnoli and like do like a giant swing and like.
Well, he tweeted about Claudio last week. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, we tweeted about
Yeah, I
Claudio.
saw that.
Claudio had himself a week. He did 2 matches in Cardiff, flew to Mexico, and then came back to London and won the tag belts in a ladder match. The trios belt, whatever the hell. Trios
Remember the
belts.
spot where Juice Robinson came into the ring, knocked over the ladder bridge, tripped over the ladder, and almost tore his ACL, and then almost knocked the trio's belts off the top.
He's godly, man. What a
That's
wrestler.
one of the funniest sequences I've ever seen.
Real.
He's unbelievable.
The funniest part is when the belts almost got knocked down, the whole crowd just started roaring in laughter.
Yeah, that match was interesting in that like maybe I'm wrong and I'm misremembering. It didn't feel like
some I almost gave it a nod on my match thing, but
there you go.
I kind of went against it, but like by the end, but it was fine.
They didn't really go nuts, right?
No.
Unless I'm
No, they
mistaken.
didn't.
It was
I couldn't get
Which,
over
I
the
mean-
ladders, man. That was just.
What would you mean? How do you mean?
They were so small.
Oh, yeah. And there was that one that was really big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Juice
Bud
brought
Matt.
out the one that was really big.
Bud Matt took an
They
apron
got a
bump. We were
pop.
under a minute away, folks.
That Bud Matt bump was crazy, man.
Yeah, he's kind of a pervert in that regard, right? Like Rod Strong was very funny in the gauntlet match as like the bump guy.
Oh my God, he took a nasty
Came out
apron
the
bump.
note,
I
he
was
came out the
terrified.
There was one person cheering. It was Joe. Way up the
I swear to you, everyone in that match got a pop of them,
That match
Roddy.
fucking great, by the way. Until the finish.
Yes, it was.
And I love Christian, but the finish was
The finish
terrible.
sucked. The finish should have been the spear on Nigel, dude. That was a great finish. Like that's his guy, you know. The Luchasaurus stuff was unnecessary, but fucking Roddy came out to silence and sprinted down the ramp. And he hit like 5 backbreakers, and they just brought the next guy in. It was
I
so
popped
awesome.
huge when Roddy came out because it had just been all fucking grapples since it's like come out here and hit some people.
I knew an
Yeah,
animal
it
was
was
coming
awesome.
in. I was
Yeah,
hyped.
man.
It was awesome. Right,
We need more chops though.
I think we're here. It is
Better
now
test.
5 a.m. for me, which means it's midnight for you guys, correct?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
alright.
Imagine it wasn't. Imagine it was 11.
I think it's 11
Didn't
for
tell you the
Bob.
whole time. Yeah.
Bob, it is 11 for Bob. Yes,
Only
Bob is
11
very
here.
tired. Why is Bob still here? You're very tired, Bob. Are you okay?
Well, yeah, we got to do about 20 till, and I figured I'd stay and see if this works. And
All
go
right.
from there.
Well,
This
here we
would be
go. Let's
very
find
funny
out.
if it doesn't work.
I'm about to hit turn on. Inevitably, this is going to go poorly. All right. Okay. Feel dead air. Let me make sure I don't like sign up for something. Unfortunately, you're missing.
Bob, sing Final Countdown.
no,
Wait, will
can't
we get a
play.
copyright? Yeah. You...
Yeah, we absolutely would.
I always forget that like the lyrics don't start till like a minute and 10 seconds in.
Yeah,
so I'm
it's-
waiting and I'm like, okay, what's
That's why
That
they have a
was-
special edit made.
I remember talking about that when we were waiting for him to go there, and I was like, I don't think that song works as a TV theme.
Mhm.
Which, at the time we didn't know it cost $1.5 million for them to use it, but
Yeah. They had a ton
I
of
think-
ladies yesterday.
I think we're on. I think we're on. I don't know.
we are. There's a join
It's
button
there.
We're
Yep.
on.
It's
We're
there.
on. You can now join LNG Gold
I'm gonna join right now.
live here on the Late Night Grin. It is there. Join button. And there you go. The tiers are all waiting for you to look at.
I've
What's
subscribed.
going
Oh,
on?
look at this. We're getting
Oh
notifications.
shit! We get
Oh,
you
hell
know.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And if it couldn't get any better, the big man is back. Contrarian Alex, just in
Yeah.
time. We just launched, Alex. New members coming in live in the chat here. How are you, Alex?
Look
I'm
at
well.
all these coming in. God bless you all.
Congratulations, LNG. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it,
I
brother.
subscribed for real. I was hoping to be first.
I must say, the Contrarian's
LNG.
moustache is looking
LNG.
fabulous. Look at Alex
Yeah.
over there. That's Dax the Axe, brother.
Thank
That
you,
fed your
thank you.
chops.
Oh, look, they have different. When they subscribe, they've got different things now on the.
Oh, yeah.
See how
Hell
Brainbusters
yeah.
in green now on our little.
Oh shit!
Now we can. Now we know that if you're not a subscriber, we're just going to ignore your comments from now on. That's a joke, to be clear.
Even if we wanted to, that would be so bad. It would see one and go, "Oh, that's good. This one's putting me over." The best is the Hooper when our friend Joe is in the chat. Man, he'll be doing a show with being Bob, and he'll go, "No, Joe, that's not true." I'm like, "Brother." Oh my goodness,
this is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. It really is. We appreciate the support, folks. It's great to see, and I think anyone who's been with us for a long time will be very, very aware that for as long as this lasts, this project, we are probably going to go at an absurd pace. To be honest with you, I'm in full Rod Strong mode for this project. That's why in the announcement video, even I was like, "Look, this may not live beyond the. Let's just see how I get. Let's get to the end of the year and see if I'm still like I can do it. I can maintain it, and then we'll go from there. We're very hopeful.
Joe, since I know we've reposted and retweeted and talked about it, but let's break everything down again for everybody.
Yes, let's do it.
Including the things that are still free.
Yes, good point.
Yeah, good call.
I'm glad you reminded me that.
You're
so
a pro.
the Green
Oracle is.
He reminded me of this when we first posted too. So the Friday flagship, live every Friday, often at 11:05 Eastern, sometimes a little early when we do Grinalongs. But that show will remain free every week. That is part of the channel. In addition, the monthly Grin Grappler will be free. Hanging with Hulbert will be free too, and it's just Ebu and I, because we don't know when that will be scheduled, right? So that's the other thing. I also would say that once we get started, you can expect to see us maybe once every couple of weeks, there'll be an LNG Gold show that we play on the free channel just to give people a taste of what we're actually. Because I wear a lot of these shows no one's seen, right? So,
hold on, we're giving stuff away.
Well, I just it's like a preview. So, for example, when I do Full Sail Behind, the way that will work is there will be an episode of the September TV, but we're also going to review the takeover, the Fatal 4-Way takeover. I'm pretty sure it is. We'll do the pay-per-view one on the free channel to give folks an idea here. So we can't see the emojis.
I can. I opened it up on the
in StreamYard, right?
Yeah,
but
you can't see it. It's making it even funnier.
Nakanishi, they got the Mattel Lexi in there.
Yeah, like all these little these little F-looking things that we see, Joe?
Yeah.
On the thing, it's our logo. It's pretty cool.
That's sweet. JJ Williams in the building. So yeah. So that's gonna be staying free.
God,
and as we
keep subscribing, guys, I'm real close to retiring.
As we mentioned earlier, this looks so. In our chat, this just says Lexi.
Preview things to come.
Not 6. Don't let me watch 7 Lexi matches. That's 7.
I fully expect to wake up to a text, bro. This Iconics thing was a bad idea. Because the thing is. I already knew this could happen. Like the rest of the stuff is fine to good, it's fine. That match was the one where Alex and I, as soon as the idea came up, we could get an Iconics match on a grappler. I was hell bent. I refused to relent until otherwise. But
get some Kyrie too.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, she has an incredible moment in that. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys who haven't seen it, but again, second fall of the elimination match. Just watch Kyrie and Sonya. It's very funny. Very, very funny. I love that we get notified when there's members. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I apologize if I've missed your thing. I'll try and throw on the screen generally, but
pretty sure we're up to 27 people already.
Hell yeah.
That's very nice. Very, very nice. And again, folks, we have launched, I should say, but our first official show, September, of course, will be our full schedule pretty much, right? Again, the TEW thing, give us some time. And if there's not a TEW, Matt and I will do some sort of shenanigan of some kind, even if it's just us talking about what we're going to do once the thing, School of Bot, whatever it may be. The rest of the month, though, we should be fine to go ahead as planned. But the first official show will be Saturday's Bash in Berlin. But I would keep your eyes open for something on Wednesday. Tomorrow, of course, is Grin Grappler Alex Bliss free of charge.
Yep.
Which is a big event. Bobby, would you like to go to bed now, mate? You've made it through. You look very tired. Look at how fearless Bobo here.
I'm glad I got to be here for it. I'll see you tomorrow for Grin Grappler.
What time is that at? We doing 9 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, 9 Eastern. Yeah.
Okay.
Jumanji Hunter brings it up. I could be wrong on this because I genuinely tried to check. YouTube told me that for you guys, it's bills you on a month to your
Yeah, I think it's month
subscription
to
date.
month. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about like paying for this month, September. You'll get that
That
full
was
month.
the
you
dumbest thing
understand?
Patreon. I think they
Yeah.
changed that after we left, actually.
They
Maybe I'm
changed
wrong.
it, yeah.
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 Right.
So I think
See
that's
you
how
guys.
it works. See you
Bye,
later, mate.
Bob.
Bye, Bobby.
What a
Now that
warrior,
he's
huh?
gone, what a piece of shit.
Fucking Bob.
Alex, did you enjoy All In, mate?
He doesn't know how to, he's trying to protect his brand. He doesn't know how to answer.
No, joking aside, peaks and valleys. Really like Tony and Mariah. The main event was obviously awesome, and it was one of those things that wrestling fans tried to immediately ruin just by making ridiculous comparisons and shit. That was it.
Yeah, it got kind of
Alex,
weird from what I can understand.
Did you see that people got mad that Brian said it was his favorite moment of his career? They were like trying to argue with the man.
He's had 2 kids since then. Like, you know, it's like his kids were there and shit. And yeah, I don't.
But also, they're like very different. You know,
how does it fucking affect you? Like,
yeah.
My favorite Brian moment's always going to be WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
But he could tell me that his favorite match ever was Kane at SummerSlam 2012. I'd be like, okay.
Well, hold on.
That's your decision to make, my man. I'm sorry. I was trying to think of the most random.
At that point, I'd start asking about concussions, probably.
Okay, for the sake of randomness, then I'll say because I hollered out loud his ROH title match with Kamala because they put a clip of it in that video package, and I was just like, hell yeah. The Battle Royal was awesome, even though I question not advertising Okada for their biggest show of the year. That, you know, people don't really care, but that was kind of weird to me. But the Nigel thing, it didn't matter because when Nigel came out to, speaking of which, because he came out to fucking in the bushes, how about those fucking dickheads Noel and Liam trying to steal the thunder from LNG Gold? You know, they're using the same day and everything. So
I respect
Speaking
it.
of
that
them,
was
here they are.
very cool. That was a very
imagine that. That's the kickoff. We get fucking Oasis on the Late Night Grin.
They reunite on Late Night
It was very
Grin.
funny though that it coincided with Nigel's steal. That was funny.
It was, yeah.
It has to be said. I don't know if there'll ever be a Nigel McGuinness motion picture, but if there is, that was definitely the last scene what we saw at Wembley.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I can't believe that actually happened for that dude. That's it's amazing, really. It really is amazing.
Well, like I told you too, the Will Ospreay MJF match isn't really my thing, but knowing that what the finish was going to be, what they were building to, credit to Max for taking it like a real worker. He was just like, well, let's just see what happens, and then right on his head. Very cool.
You also, I saw you tweet it, and I'm glad that you concede on this. The entrance attire was incredible. The Apollo deal.
Creed top hat was fantastic.
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna. He should have used Living in America for that entrance, man. Can you imagine?
It also, like, with how tone deaf his character is. I'm not talking about him personally.
He'd be oblivious. Yeah.
If he had come out Born in the USA by Springsteen, because that sounds obviously. There's this subset. Bob's gone, but Bob could tell us him and his folk think it's a patriotic anthem, even though it's actually not.
It was cool, man. It was really cool.
My mom was, because it was the afternoon, so like my mom was folding laundry and stuff. My parents were over, and she watched some of it with me, and she watched the Tiger Driver in that MJF match, and she goes, "Oh my god!" She's like, "Would you call that a pile driver?" And I was just like, "Kind of." And she's like, "He landed on his head. How do you protect himself?" And I felt like I was in a Laps fan bit.
I liked that match a lot, honestly, but like the way my living room's set up, I've got like a very cheap surround sound system, and I've got a little speaker almost right next to where I sit. And so I could just hear Joe chanting USA the whole time.
You got
and it was in the one speaker right next. I don't know if you were by like one of the mics or, but it was fucking distracting, bro. Like the whole match.
Yeah, well, we all have our faults, but I will say, whatever you thought of the Tiger Driver angle, which I thought it fucking sucked, it has to be said, Wembley went absolutely berserk when he hooked it. They went nuts for it. I mean, it just shows you, even if the story isn't the strongest, if you tell a story consistently, people will, or even vaguely, the big man is back, even vaguely consistently, there will be a response. That was cool. I mentioned it on Twitter. There was a couple kids behind us who they were dead silent. They were dead silent. What happened?
I'm just not sure if we got everybody. I think we have.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
We missed you. I'm sorry.
There are a couple kids behind me at Wembley who were dead silent throughout the show. And then Will Ospreay came out and they just went berserk. And they were yelling like, go back to the States, to MJF. And it was very apparent, as their dad explained to them, there is a new Will Ospreay action figure, and they jumped up and down. It was very apparent that these kids had just seen Will Ospreay on the TV, because they actually are on TV here. And I think for a lot of the hardcores, we watch on the Fight thing. They're on actual TV. And it's great to, well, sometimes you hear the conversations, you realize not everyone is here because they went to, Rev Pro in 2017. There are actually just some people that wanted to see the TV stars in the building, which is, that's how wrestling's supposed to be.
My wife had the same reaction in the living room. She kept yelling, go back to the States at Max. It was fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
That stuff's always really cool if it's
like when Gravity came out at Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that was awesome. But like when someone's there that doesn't really watch wrestling, but they're there to see like one person and they go nuts for them, that's always really fun. And Ospreay is cool. Like if you're a little kid, like especially, I assume they were natives. They were English.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're a little kid and there's a guy from your country that does shit like Will Ospreay, yeah, he's a superhero, man.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think the day that we lose that, it's over. And it can't all just be people updating their spreadsheets. Can it? It's got to be just some.
Yeah, Nobi. How good? Like I know we've talked about this before, Alex, and the horse shit before is whatever. But how good is Ospreay's entrance music, man?
Oh, the best.
Golly, that's it.
He has. It's like the modern equivalent of AJ Styles' TNA theme, the I am. Because if you actually like listen to lyrics, like this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. But like just when it plays, it just gets you so amped. You're like, yes.
Yeah, that was a good time. That had a good atmosphere. The thing is when that match ended, there was a lot of people that went. Some people definitely went home when that match ended, just because of the train situation.
And so the match that followed it up, did Max did he put this show together as far as like match?
So I was as I was saying, so there were definitely some people that went home, and there was obviously a lot of people that went to concessions. And I think, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think it was pretty apparent in the next match that was a thing, right? You could tell people had kind of just decided, like, all right, I'm going to reset. And I remember thinking, like, I wonder if that was kind of the people's main event. And then Dragon came out and was like, no. In fact, this is definitely the people's main event.
That match, besides the gauntlet, that was the only. I mean, the main event was the only match that had like a loud crowd throughout from beginning to end.
Yeah, like an actual that was the only match where, and this is always a great sign of a match having heat. When they rung the bell, the people popped, right? Like, here we go. Right. It was the only one that had that, which is special.
The knee that Swerve just brushed off, like on television at least, like the stadium went like deathly silent, like as a reaction.
It was unbelievable.
And I was like, that's awesome. Because
I yelled like, what the fuck in my living room, like genuinely out loud. I yelled, what the fuck?
But that's the point of the no sell. When you actually do it, that's the reaction you want. Save it for the biggest nights and the biggest stages.
And
like,
Joe,
it was great.
Joe and I talked about this earlier, and it's like the key to that whole thing was he kind of staggered a little bit before he no-sold it instead of just standing there, because then it's just horse shit.
Yeah, like, he's not superhuman. It's a knee, and like any strike,
it
didn't knock him out. Man. He didn't knock him out. He just shook it off.
It's like Brian got away with some stuff in that match that hardly anyone else would get away with, and that's the beauty of professional wrestling. Like,
for sure,
there's some stuff in that match in the wrong hands is just absolute horse shit, and is like borderline disgusting. But for Bryan Danielson, who's earned it,
the blade job was incredible.
Obscene. Yeah, the blade job didn't make any sense, but who cares? He reached out to his daughter before he got kicked in the back of the head, which was like, in the wrong hands, that's just like ridiculous and exploitative. And
I could think of like a dozen wrestlers off the top of my head to say if they did that same thing, I would have been like, go fuck yourself. But that match, I was just like, fuck it, man. Let's go.
These things, it's just, wrestling. It's like anything. These things, they don't exist in like their own bubble, right? It's not in a vacuum. It's like it's like when guys do, when Dustin Rhodes does the Canadian Destroyer, it's like really charming.
Yeah.
Go on, Dustin. And then like Blake Christian does it. It's like, can we fix this? What was the one Nick Wayne did? I've never felt more old last night. Nick Wayne did.
He did an Os cutter at one point.
I'm sure, but he did a dive into like a sunset
Oh
bomb.
yeah.
And I audibly went, "Oh, fuck off!" And everyone around me was like, "This is awesome." I felt like such an asshole.
I didn't qualify the pre-show matches. I don't think those count. But of like the actual pay-per-view, I thought the ladder match was the worst match because even the dentist match was like there was some comedy to it.
Was there? That was my big issue with it. Is it wasn't like if it was going to be bad, it could have at least been funny.
It could have been funny.
Just like
it was funny how quiet it was.
That was funny. My big thing was
I heard the Hook Jericho match was quite bad, but I didn't watch that though.
It was not as bad as this match, but it was bad.
I don't know.
Mercedes. So the problem with this match that I had is that Mercedes just decided she was going to keep working hard the entire time instead of giving up and getting mad, which is what would have made it fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But instead, she just kept trying. She God bless her, man, and you know her run has been far from perfect, but she busted her ass in that match. She
wanted to have a great match.
Yeah.
The best parts of that match were when Mercedes did like the knees to the back, unprotected, and then when Britt just like punched her in the head as hard as she could when she was like mounting her and like punched her in the head. And like
the only good thing in that match
kind of looked like Mercedes had like a knot on her head for a minute.
Mercedes body slamming her off the avalanche body slam pop. I mean, that's like the only good thing that I remember from that match.
I texted Shoot towards the end of it because I was so just bored. I was trying to figure out what Britt's gear was supposed to be. And I don't know if it was supposed to be that gear where it's like it's supposed to look like overalls where the straps are down or something, but I was very distracted trying to figure out what the fuck it was.
That's just like a it's just a gear now.
That's why I didn't answer you. I was so confused because that's what she wears all the time.
Yeah. To be fair, once
it's
she
not
started
good,
wearing
to be
that,
clear, but I'm just used to
once
it.
she started wearing that, she was gone pretty soon after, right? So I think you
that
probably
was
just didn't see
last
it.
summer when she started wearing that, right?
Yeah. It is a weird look, though. Strange. It kind of reminds me of like when Sean had those bizarre, like they were like not really tights, but they were like pretend tights. Remember when he was an old fuck and he wore those wristbands too, like he was 12?
Yeah, he had that era where they were like those pleather indie pants that looked like he was wearing chaps over tights, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Exactly.
I missed it. I just say on TV it came back when they were already in the ring. But Joe, I'm sure, and you can confirm this, the Knight family got a Hart-esque in Calgary reaction when they came out in Wembley. Did they not?
Tragically, I missed that because I was getting my seat switched.
I wouldn't say you missed it. You didn't.
Well, I went to see Jamie's return.
She looked awesome.
That was cool.
And I don't mean that in a lecherous way. I mean that like she looked awesome.
Yeah,
she's the best, dude. Jamie's great. I'm telling you, I was texting you guys about it. They've got a lot of talent in that division. Seriously, especially like in a couple decades when Athena drops the ring up on a belt and moves up and graduates. They got some really nice pieces. Really nice pieces. So
I found myself more interested in All Out again this year.
Yeah. All Out looks good. All Out's going to be, I mean, Brian and Christian, yes, please. We'll have some of that.
Please, yes, please.
Do we know, like, if that's what they're going to do with that?
Well, I was thinking, it's a fair question because I honestly wasn't sure Brian was going to work.
Because Darby's got the Arthur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is a really easy match to set up with one segment, which they would do on Wednesday. Like
Osprey and Pac.
With the way like they're with Christian, with like the way they said that it was kind of like a Money in the Bank title shot, it doesn't feel like Christian would be one who would be like, "Oh, I want the match at this specific."
You're right, but I want to just make it clear now to when I was watching, they need to kill that as a thing immediately. That's a really bad idea. Like, you're correct based on what they've said. What you just said makes sense, but do not do the cash-in thing, dude. Like, it's the other company's done it to the point where it's not even fun when they do it now. Like, why take that as an idea?
This next year should be the last one, and the way they end it is R-Truth wins it, and then he forgets to cash in until day 366. He tries to cash in, and
that would be an incredible idea.
And that's the way the Money in the Bank ends.
If that would be the ultimate heat check for like how hot they are. They just like, we're going to commit a year to this R-Truth.
I could see Brian suckering Christian into accepting a match instead of cashing in.
It should be that you it should be like you have to have a match sanctioned, though. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like I don't know. Either way, I think it will be.
Let it play out, Joe.
95 Bachwinkle commissioner over here. Things have to make sense. God damn it!
I hope we get Jared Hangman at that show.
Swerve Hangman. I'm pretty sure is what you're getting.
That's the main event.
Yeah.
Which is,
Jeff
I will
Jarrett
say,
suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
it does feel like they're going to do Hangman and Jeff at some point, right?
Probably.
Yeah, it feels like they got to, right?
Mhm.
They got to do a rematch.
I'd say maybe
yeah.
this week even.
Yeah, it might be. It might be this week or next week's TV. It could be after Ash too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They could have Jeff do the media for that.
Because they've already got the two for sure matches are Willow and Stat, and then
That'll be good.
Will and a Pack, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I assume they're shooting for MJF and Daniel Garcia.
I think this is
Tag-
happening.
Mariah
I
and
feel like
Mina,
we're
yeah.
gonna get a bloodbath at All Out like we did last year, because like we got some blood yesterday,
Yeah.
but like I feel like we're gonna get a bloodbath.
I wonder what the tag. So grizzled young veterans are clearly going to be like Collision, Constance, and Wrestle FTR every week, right?
Yeah,
What the fuck are the Bucks going to do?
Who
Nothing.
cares?
nothing.
They're not showing up to work.
That match sucked. Three-way tag fucking
Didn't
sucked,
it?
man.
I thought so too, Oracle.
Yeah.
I was not.
I've seen opinions all over the board. I thought it was like decent, but not more than that. It didn't have any heat. I will say.
I will readily admit that I'm too far gone now, and I'm just like I'm so done with them that I'm like,
Yeah.
it probably could have been fine, and I just would have
What's
been
it,
mad. I was just bored, man. And
What's
FTR is
this-
like my favorite tag team ever, so to be bored during
No,
an
yeah,
FTR
yeah.
match bums me out.
I saw a lot of
Yeah,
takes.
it was not good. It was like their worst match I've seen from them in a really long time. That match,
Really? What was
Yeah.
his cage match, man?
of course, I thought Max and
Okay,
Will
look.
fucking sucked too. So I mean, it's
It is. It's 6.31.
Dude,
Oh, yeah, that's about right.
Oracle.
Hmm.
If you're anything like me, the part of all the like dumb histrionics community theater shit in the Max Osprey match, the part that made me the most mad was when Osprey did an Os cutter on the apron. I was like, why would you do that? We know it's gonna hurt you worse than it hurts the other guy. Like that shit drove me insane. I know it's fake, but like
He's
I was
driving
just
his
like,
head into the canvas, Alex.
by that point, I had gotten so annoyed with the Shawn Michaels Triple H tribute of let's do a couple of big spots and then sell for 5 minutes. I got so annoyed by that point that I was just like, I just don't care anymore. Like,
What did Bob say when you? I felt like such a bootlicker earlier because
the grappler chat's just going off on this match and how it wasn't good.
the
And
kick it.
Hulbert
The
comes
funniest
in.
thing. Go on.
He zooms in, wearing the Union Jack draped over him, and he's just saying, "Come on, guys, you got to give this a fair shot. This is in Wembley, after all."
Well, Alex and Oracle not liking it is like, like of
That's
course,
not
it's fine.
surprising at all. Yeah.
But the one that really hit me hard was Bobby goes, I watched it for 3 minutes and then muted it.
when Bobby gets that descriptive, it's not.
Yeah, because you never get that from Bob, ever.
Joe's isolated there when he's.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, now I really do feel like a bootleg. I was like, Bolt Media. It's like,
Well,
I think
I
they had a
liked
really
it.
good match. I don't know, man. It's subjective.
I'm
right?
with you, Joe.
That change.
I liked it.
That's a difference.
Yeah.
The biggest difference
alright.
is with us and I think some of the other community, as it were. Oracle and I can make fun of it, but not like try to attack you and find where you live because you
Well,
don't like it.
The reality of it is
I can give you his address if you need it.
Oh no, I got everything I need. Don't worry. But
you're
we're
gonna
Max is sending the checks.
You're gonna disagree with people on professional wrestling, aren't you? Sometimes it is what it is. It's it's part of the fun to
I
me.
said in the chat. I'll say it now. I had some issues with the main event in terms of the melodrama, but I'm actually kind of excited that's over with now. And the match was great. I mean, it's the two most emotional matches all year were that match and then Cody and Roman when Cody finally won. That was
easily,
it.
yeah.
Those are the two most like emotional.
Having them in the same year is pretty cool.
And that's
honestly.
awesome
Yeah.
because they were the two companies' biggest shows of the year, so their main events were successes at their biggest shows. So that's good.
Honestly, guys,
I'm just ready for Danielson to because I mean he'll do I'm also got into my head now that I'm gonna have to because my problem is watching that I wasn't prepared for as much melodrama as we got.
Mhm.
So now
Christian match will be
I'm
more
prepared, but
straightforward.
At the same time, I don't think we'll get quite as much. So he can just for a little while he can just have matches.
Well, Oracle, I could be wrong about this, but my guess on Wednesday is that he's going to announce that he's going to retire when he loses the title. So every match that he does until he loses the title is going to be title versus career.
He may. I'm not sure he ever
true.
retires.
That's
to be
probably true that they'll do they'll probably do the Flair thing, but I still don't necessarily like. My issue is more not that I was like offended by like him bleeding in front of his kids, but it was more like the camera work was too focused on breeding the kids.
It was very
and
cinematic.
not enough
yeah.
on.
It was
That's
very
what
cinematic.
It had a real wrestler in the crowd. I would be focused on it too, you know?
Yeah. There you go.
It's got a great ovation, I must say.
I loved it. Yeah.
I was kind of
Oh,
scared.
no.
that-
I honestly, I really didn't hate it. I really didn't.
No,
It
no. I think
it annoyed me, but like
my honest take. I think you were when I said it is like. I think you were here already. Is like if that had been anybody else, I
Yeah,
probably
sure.
would have hated it. Like,
Basically,
he
you
can get
saw
away
the,
with it.
You saw the same things. You excused Dragon for it as I did, and Oracle was less quick to this. Is what it is.
I felt like I felt like he'd earned it. Plus, I will say, and I said this to you, and I don't care. It makes me sound like a dork, but whatever. Like I've seen some of those reality shows, and I've seen those kids on the reality shows, and like I know, you know what I mean. Like it would be different than it was just two kids I'd never seen before.
You care
like,
about Brian more than Oracle does. That's what most of this stuff comes down to.
I mean, like he's like a, he's one of those guys that like has like a really.
He's the greatest
loving, dedicated fan base. You know, he's one of all-time greats.
Like,
that's what this. I mean, it's at odds with a lot of the analysis and such we do, but we have to be honest. Investment and just actually giving a shit is a lot of what this is about, right? I mean,
yeah, and it's funny because like, I want to be clear because like I really like Tony and Mariah, and that had melodrama, but I was expecting that.
I love that.
It suited that story. Yeah, they had to do melodrama.
Mariah slapped the fuck out of her mom.
Yes, she did.
Mom was like,
"He's awesome."
That sequence.
I was like, bro.
When she went from kissing Nigel, slapping her mom, and then kicking Luther,
yeah.
And I think there was something else in there too that I'm forgetting. What a fucking sequence, man! Like
she's awesome.
She is sensational.
Her biggest thing now is this is going to be very interesting how she does now that she's not attached to Tony. Because the one thing I would say, and I don't say this is a criticism because she's actually only been in the promotion for like 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely does have a ways to go in terms of like getting over as a singles. That match will have helped a lot. But like I noticed like the reaction. Like there was a lot of people that were stunned she won in our section because even though for like us that are close enough to it, it was like she kind of has to win to finish as we spoke about on Friday. I think for a lot of people, she was still just like she's Tony's understudy in a lot of people's minds. So it'll be really interesting how her matches get over on pay-per-view. Like I think we're all very confident in her work, right? Like if you put her with someone who's good, she's gonna have good matches. I'm really intrigued how she does.
They really should do that Mina match it all out where she just destroys her. Like obviously you give it some time, but like it should be a pretty dominant win. And but yeah, she's gonna where Tony goes from here is gonna be interesting too. I don't know if you've seen what the digital they did.
I haven't, but you just let her cook with that, right? Like
she just like in the digital they did, she didn't say anything and she just left the stadium in her gear. Like she climbed over a fence and walked off into the and she was like dancing almost. Like I think she's just gonna lose her mind even more. But it's gonna be real interesting to see where she goes from here. Because she rules, man. Like JJ, she's only 28. Like
that's crazy.
Blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
My God, that's wild. Mercedes is a bit like that though. Like when Britt was talking, like Britt's older than her, right, or something, or close. Mercedes was super young when she was having those matches with Bailey. It's crazy.
Remember when Britt called her a sellout for coming to AEW?
I do. You mentioned it to me a couple times.
Smart.
I think it's time I take my. I think I need to take my Brit 8x10 down now.
Oh, it is back there.
It's right up there.
Dude, fuck that, man. This part of having shitty matches is part of the game. It made her more real.
He's gonna do it on air.
Oh no, baby. I would never concede like that. I'd double down.
Hey, look, you gotta have bad workers like they did in the '80s in WWF and like open like.
For real.
Yeah. I hope Triple H doesn't sign her. That'd be really bad.
I thought it was 2.
Can you imagine if Triple H took both Britt Baker and Saraya? Like, how would AEW recover from that? Please don't do that, Triple H.
No.
I honestly don't think they would sign her. I think
she should go be a dentist.
I think she's ready for some total non-stop action, as is the great Saraya of Fighting With My Family fame.
That was the best part of the build was when Mercedes made fun of her for having an education. She was like, "Oh, and you had your degree."
That's so sick. Didn't want it bad enough. Yeah.
The best friends in Orange Cassidy are now in that spot.
There you go. There you go.
Britt can do mixed tag matches with Dolph.
Fucking right, she could.
Jack Crosby would tune in for that.
Dude, when Jackie Crosby sent us that Josh Alexander Nick Nemeth graphic, 60-minute Iron Man, and said Grinalong, that was one of the all-time great.
I wasn't even polite about that either.
Grinalong.
I think I responded with hell no.
I'm definitely going to do, if the schedule lines are, I'm definitely going to do one for Demoore's gimmick, where Takeshita's wrestling.
Takeshita. I watched their first match, and it was pretty good, but it wasn't.
It was.
I wanted more.
It'd be better, I think.
Yeah.
And also, Josh.
For Takeshita?
Well, yeah, something like that. It should be said, Josh
That
is not.
just got posted in the chat. It's one of the most.
Oh, dear.
Alex would watch that. You put it in a fucking ballroom at WrestleMania weekend, and he'll tell me it was good for the next 5 years.
Let's go, dude. How good was this?
That was really funny.
That's one of the best quotes of the year. Right? It has to be. He was so serious too. The Yeet
Man.
Man.
Your son is the Yeet Man is insane.
He was talking about him, and he was like, "Hopefully they get him going here soon." Fuck, man.
I don't know what the hell.
Like, I'm not honestly. I'm not.
He also was talking about him like he wasn't his son. He was
the Yeet Man.
It's like you and me, or like someone talking about, like, oh man, they should do more with Orange Cassidy. He was like, yeah, the Yeet Man. They need to do something with this guy.
Jey Uso in AEW as a singles would be fucking insane, dude.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine if Jay left but Jimmy didn't? And like,
I mean, Jimmy would be insane to leave. He's just like, imagine he'd have to like have matches and stuff. It'd be horrible.
Yeah.
He's like a vignette specialist now.
Bro, how can you imagine they wrestle the Bucks finally and it's just like a 1-star match and fucking sucks?
17-minute television match on Collision. Jay Yeet Uso against Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid.
Oh my god.
No Yeet.
Have you seen him wrestle yet, Alex? Tom Billington?
Yes, he's unfortunately small, but like he is he hits the ropes just like Dynamite, which is like a very like he clearly took the time to learn just how Tommy used to hit the ropes, and he's very explosive, and I like his throwback style. But yeah, he makes Carmelo Hayes look like Andre.
His biggest challenge, Tape said it, and I was like kind of hovering around the take because I felt bad, but Tape said it's like the big thing for Tommy is going to be like, how does he avoid just being like a full-on tribute act, right? Like,
he should start by not calling himself Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid.
Right, but it's hard because the one advantage he has in doing that style is the reality is no one really works like that anymore. So like that's cool, but his act is like a full-on. It's very difficult. He's a very young guy, so like hopefully. He's a lot younger than he looks.
I really like him, and I'm glad he didn't go to NXT. And Dax, if you see this, please unblock me on Twitter. It was just a joke.
Yeah, true. Also, the Dax match was really good, but Dax, I think Dax understood how to shine him up. Like he mat wrestled with him. I think he understood it.
They hit hard a few times.
Yeah, but they didn't just like stand there and
yeah.
Jericho. Cal, Super Chat. If Julia does not debut at No Mercy, I'm preparing a catalogue of Britt Baker and Karrion Kross matches to exploit my newly obtained privileges. That was a hefty Super Chat.
Joe's going to get punished for things things I
don't even care about. Yeah. Karrion Kross will be fine. None of his matches are long, are they? The Finn matches are pretty long, but they were quite good from what I recall. So they'll be fine. Yeah,
that awesome Killer Cross match matches.
Forget WWE stuff. You're gonna get like TNA Killer Cross
when he was real.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you so much Control Your Narrative.
Control Your Narrative was a crazy deal. That was a wild moment in time when they announced that tour. Remember that?
Did you see Braun Strowman get fucking tsunami to a car?
I saw that clip. That was
fucking awesome.
I can't believe they're getting Bronson Reed over, dude. It's amazing.
If I was Braun, when I blatantly looked at him to check to see if he was going to jump yet, I would have just rolled off the car personally. But
Honestly, the craziest bump in that or in that brawl was when Bronson got thrown over the car and then like almost hit his head on the concrete. On the,
Yeah,
on
that
the way
kind
over
of
the hood.
that gave me pause because he those guys big boys, so they're sweaty as fuck, all Crisco'd up, and he just slid across the hood of that car and fell. And like I was like, oh fuck, concussion, because he's not light. There was an unfortunate camera shot right up the coronal ridge of Bronson Reed as he was climbing up the apparatus there.
He's talking like Lord Alfred Hayes then, dude. That was crazy.
If you haven't seen the segment, those of y'all listening, it's worth going back because they have the local indie workers act as like the security guards, and there's some scrawny white dude who takes a choke slam from Braun through a table. He went up to heaven and came down to hell.
And then some like fucking like some like lockbox, giant lockbox suitcase fell on top of him after he went to the face.
Dude, I bet there's an account tonight that's like gonna screenshot the lockbox deal, whatever it was for him, and be like, wonder what this is about. Like a cryptic hint, you know. Shane O'Mac it is, you know, something of that deal. Look at this deal here. I assume this is Melt's ring. Karrion Kross got a 4-star with Johnny in a 13-minute match. Johnny Gargano. I read it as John Morrison. Yeah, and I was very confused.
I think it's Gargano.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure I'd really like that match.
You know what we need to feed Joe on some of these reviews are the old IWA Mid-South Strong Style tournaments.
Yes, please.
Get some Tank versus Samoa Joe action going.
I have to say,
fucking rules.
I did some clipping of this tonight. Dude, Los Guerreros, World's Greatest Tag Team, blew me away. Because I've seen Hudson Benjamin as younger fellas, but I've mostly seen them in Ring of Honor where I thought they were like quite unfortunate. I've always been polite about it because Bob's a friend, but like, you know, when people say like, they were actually like the best tag team of the decade, it's like, well,
they were awesome.
That's not true. They were very good.
In 2003, they're like prodigies, right? Like, my God. And again, I tweeted, like, it sounds dumb saying, oh, Los Guerreros were a good tag team. Like, yeah, dude, Eddie Guerrero's one half the team. But they really were, like, fabulous. Their chemistry, my God. Great team. That was great stuff. I think I saw the title change match where Charlie nearly dies. He, like, lands on his head. Very, very beast.
Have you seen the World's Greatest Tag Team Kidman Ray match from Vengeance that year?
Nope.
Oh, that's like... that's probably like a top 20 WWF tag match ever, maybe top 10. I'm
going to watch it next, I think.
There's also from Judgment Day, Chavo got hurt, so Tajiri replaced him.
Yes.
That is quite a car wreck and a very entertaining
All those series are good. Eddie and Tajiri versus World's Greatest Tag Team. All those matches are good.
Unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable. Tajiri had some great.
When do you start doing these match reviews?
First week of September, bro. Well, probably after this.
That's after Bash of the Brilliant. So I was going to say some Derek Neal strap matches would be timely.
After this, I'm going to put up the post of like recommend matches below, probably. So you can get ahead of it. I'm not selling that at all. Yeah, so I'll probably put it up maybe tomorrow. Maybe after this, we'll see how we go. But yeah, was there anything on All In we haven't actually just like stumbled upon over this last hour and a half?
Ricochet was on there.
Ricochet.
He's gonna have a terrible match with
Kyle Fletcher. Aussie.
Adrian's very excited about that match.
I love Kyle Fletcher.
Hang on, wait. Was he in the 16-man tag?
Kyle Fletcher?
Kyle Fletcher was in the 16-man tag.
Yes, he was. Oracle loved that match.
Did you put that on your suggested matches, didn't you?
Good. I thought 16-man tag was good.
I'm not saying I didn't see it, but you having 16-man tag on your fucking match recommended thing was unbelievable.
I mean, it was, you know.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Dustin was good in the other tag, but I didn't think it was quite as good as 16-man.
It was crazy.
What a wrestler!
And at one point, Dustin was like yelling at Sammy Guevara together. Where's Sammy? Where's Sammy?
Did you see Dustin's tweet today, Oracle?
What's that?
Did you see his tweet today where he called it the Fed?
Yeah,
the Fed. That's all that. Yeah, the Fed. Yeah. This is actually crazy. It worked out this way. I was sitting in the exact same row as Chuck. Charlie and I were in the same row on the stage.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yes.
That's cool.
She could see fine. I could not see a single thing. Not one thing.
So you didn't actually sit in the same row?
Well, no, I went and spoke to some people, got some things done,
Yeah.
That's why I was in MJF's corner.
Skybox.
Just
Can we
Phil
talk
Nurse
about
over there.
Daniel Garcia's like face when like he pulled the
Facials, yeah. Well, I think the idea is like
he looked like me when I come into work every day. Like
I actually felt really bad for him because like what they were going for clearly was like that angle has changed. Like he's going to be really serious, right?
yeah.
And every person in Wembley was just going, "Do the dance, dude!" And I was thinking he's going to take him so long to shed that fucking dance, dude. Like that's what everyone was yelling. Do the
That's
dance.
what Alex was texting me. He should do the dance. He said it like 5 times.
And
Pissing me off.
Max did the sell of like his sell was like, "I've seen a ghost. Daniel Garcia is alive."
Act like it was a fucking Undertaker.
This fucking beast, dude. Max said, "Oh yeah, I'll put over Will Ospreay only once I set up my next feud with Daniel Garcia, though. Let's make sure we handle business here." God, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, good times. It must be said, we won a lot. US Scraps is honestly in a pretty good place, right? We have some issues with some of the stylistic choices, and it is increasingly like cinematic and like GIF proof, I guess would be the screenshot proof. But it is in a good place.
It was more. I said this in the chat earlier today, but I wish it was more. I wish AEW was a little bit more traditionalist, as they were in like 2021, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
The people that say it's just like a golden age Ring of Honor with a higher budget. I'm like, you did not watch Ring of Honor.
It is. I think, look, there's room for more stylistic variety. Actually, more than stylistic variety, I think presentation variety, right? Like, I think that would be what we want more of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just generally, like someone said in the chat, so we mentioned the Cody match, Brian match, and someone in the chat mentioned the Sting retirement match. It's like, this is definitely going to be a year that in 20 years, the nerds of tomorrow are going to be like, 2024 was a crazy wrestling year, right? Because AEW has mostly, I think, improved on a hilarious 2023. We must be said. I mean, they were all over the place. They had like 4 different eras within that year.
I think they were definitely worse last year. I'll say that.
Yeah,
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there was good stuff, but it was all chaos, right? Like they didn't know what they were doing
this year. They're not perfect, but they're much more focused.
They know where they're going more.
They got some fat they need to trim. They need to figure out how to get rid of the Bucks.
Britt Baker.
I'm with you there.
I still think, look, we've had shots at Britt, we've had fun of the Bucks. I still think Jericho is by far the biggest problem. By far.
Yeah. That's very fair.
Him being locked in to have a singles match on Wembley when all of those dudes in the gauntlet match are not is insane. I'm sorry. Like,
that would have been really funny if Jericho came out in yellow and blue Wolverine gear also.
and the thing is with Chris, like, as a character, he was superstar a couple years ago. But I'll stand by this. I think he could still have good matches a couple of years ago. I think he proved that. In 2022, he had some really fun matches. The Eddie match was really good. The Ishii match was fun. He's just gone now. He isn't there anymore, to my eye anyway.
So I
told us in an interview that's not true, though.
Was 2022 when he had the match with Nick Gage?
That was 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
2021.
God damn. Time is weird.
Yeah.
I was at I was at Dynasty when they did the first Hook match, and like that's my biggest problem. I did not watch the match. I went out and charged my phone, and I went with my friends, and they had a smoke break, and we just chilled for 20 minutes. But like you did 5 months of a feud, and we're just like back to where we were. So then what we went through, there's no point of it. That's like my biggest issue. If you're like gonna make progress, then fine.
He does 6-month feuds.
No one comes out of it stronger. It's terrible. That's why he's the biggest problem. Like
we're exactly where we were.
He's quicksand.
Yeah.
In the post show before they started the actual scrum, they just had RJ and Renee and Daddy Magic just killing time, and they were basically just like they had no script clearly, and they were just talking and goofing off. And Renee at one point goes, I think the crowd's starting to like Chris Jericho again. And RJ City immediately like, no, absolutely not. He shut that down immediately.
The thing that is crazy is I remember starting to waver on the Hook project like probably a year ago now. It's been a while. And then he did that thing with Joe, and I remember thinking, hold up, he may actually be something after all, because the Joe match got genuine buzz. I'm not a ratings expert, I could be making this up. I'm pretty sure it did a pretty good number for what they were doing at the time. The match fucking ruled.
Ratings talk, this fucking guy.
And then, immediately, this stuff happened, and it's like it completely has erased what they did with that. It's such a shame.
Oh, you're talking about Hook. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about
sorry.
Jericho's. Like,
No,
I
sorry.
don't remember hearing
Hook.
anything about that. Yeah, the
And-
Hook thing, like,
Yeah.
you're right. Buzz, and I believe you are also accurate that it did a noticeable difference in rating.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need
You
some
would
backup
know.
on that. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
No.
I just
You tweet about ratings at least once a week. It's fucking incredible.
It's usually about like old ratings and how Shane McMahon and The Rock drew 9.3 million people to watch a cage match.
By the way,
Anyway, I'll be honest. I think Hook sucks.
well, yeah, of course, but
Jericho
he
sucks, too, to be
does,
clear.
but he could have been.
Yeah, but Hook's not.
He could have been something like as a detraction. You know, that's all I'm saying.
There was a path to him being cool again after that
Yeah,
match, and then they just
exactly,
kind of like
yeah.
squandered it a week later. It was really unfortunate.
They sent him out. They had him do the scrum, and it was like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's bad.
that was
And the thing is,
hilarious.
I don't. People may say I'm naive, but I honestly don't think Jericho, when he does stuff like the Hook feud, I don't think Jericho has bad intentions at all. I think in Jericho's mind, he's I'm gonna fucking.
I agree. Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot Hook to
which is
the
kinda
moon,
worse.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's worse.
He thinks
honestly.
he's doing a good job.
he
Yeah.
does.
100%.
Yeah.
He
Well, I
also
guess,
like
to be fair, if no one's gonna tell him he isn't, then like,
yeah,
you know,
that's a big part of it. You know, that's well, obviously Triple H never liked him, but I think that was the thing with his relationship with Vince too. Is I mean, if you've read any of Jericho's books, that was part of it.
Yeah.
He'd think he would have these good ideas, and Vince would be like, "Shit sucks, pal." But that's this whole like the high guys thing is like
yeah,
he's had success getting stupid shit over in the past, like the list thing. The list, like to me, that's like if wrestling's fair and these guys are able to check themselves, like that's how Jericho rode off into the sunset was the list. And then he came back and he did the AEW title thing, kind of like, you know, in
that was very effective.
His
though,
first couple years in AEW were honestly pretty good.
That was good for his legacy because he helped them be legit. I get what you're saying, but yeah, that would
Like-
you'd add that.
Who did the Jericho Appreciation Society help? Chris Jericho. And like this learning tree business, like it's just he's lost it, man. And that the problem is now is that people fucking old fuckers like me and Matt and to a lesser extent Oracle, who watched him when he was great, this is going to cloud our ability to like think about how he really was. And then younger fans that watch this are going to hear he was great and be like, really? What
It
did he
will
do?
take a while, yeah. It will eventually correct itself. It always does. Because wrestling fans are, I think, the best fans in the world at forgetting how embarrassing guys are when they get old. It will take a while, though, in Chris's case, I think. Like, I mean, I was talking to Ibu about this. We were popping, like, you know, we did Grin Grappler Kurt Hennig, right? And we had a great time. We love Kurt Hennig. But even I was popping, like, imagine he's the last decade of his career at a time where people like post life and death about every match on TV.
Yeah.
Like every match is a legacy game. Can you imagine Kurt just getting the shit kicked out of him by Contrarian Alex on Twitter? Going out there having a shitty match on Nitro. It's just like people forget, right? So I think it will eventually, but you're absolutely right. Like, I think if Chris retires in like at the end of 2022, I think it would have been perfect. I genuinely think that would have been fine.
Didn't he have a retirement match around that time?
He had
People were
one
like,
with
"Oh, he
Max.
should do it."
Max in 2021 at the Chicago show with Punk's return. That was the show, yeah. The return match, I should say. But yeah, Alex, I want to talk to you quickly about this. You did a very heinous tweet the other night.
Uh-oh.
I think it led with I think it led with just looking at Shane McMahon's catalog. And honestly, like the psycho score, like hit my just like came into my head as I realized you're like getting like 3 months of preparation for this Grin Grappler, aren't you? This is gonna be like an extensive. This is gonna backfire on me so violently when these matches come around. We're gonna do the Taker match. It's gonna be a catastrophe. It's gonna be
now. Devin already Oracle already put a hard stop on the Taker 32 match.
Shit. Yeah, bro, we can't do that shit.
Dude, I think that match is legitimately like 50 minutes from like video package to the end of the match.
I will say that I didn't consider that doing a chamber was going to add to the runtime. I will say.
Oh well.
Do you know what also blew my? I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but what blew my mind about that chamber? Mandy and Sonya come out to like Paige's music, and I was like, "Shit, this is like 2 months into their run. Dude. They're brand new." Yeah. Brand new.
Before they were called Fire and Desire after they split.
Indeed.
What was her? Sonya had a different name in NXT. It was like Daria
Dar-
Bernardo. Or...
Yeah, Daria
It's a shoot
Baronado.
name, right?
Yeah, that's her shoot name. Yeah, Daria Baronado. Yeah.
We get
Bernardo.
two Fire and Desire appearances on this program, which is unbelievable.
That old Mandy entrance was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a deal with one of them where Corey's like losing his mind about Mandy, and there's some incredible announce teams. In the chamber match, Jonathan Coachman's on commentary, and I literally yelled, "Fuck!" Oh my god! He has a line. This is a classic line. He goes, "Unlike in tonight's men's elimination chamber, these women are competing for the Raw Women's Championship," and it's like, yeah, bro, like, of course.
Was that like
the point, right?
That had to have been like right after they kicked Booker T off commentary, I think. It was like right then.
When they got Coach back, they made a big deal of it. Remember, they did like a press release, like Coach is back, folks.
That was when I first started watching wrestling. It's very depressing.
He's like, Alexa's like a chicken shit heel, and Jonathan Coachman's like, I just wish you'd just stand and fight her ground like a champion. Like she's Ronnie Garvin.
hands of stone, Alexa.
Yeah. It's like the one time she's actually a chicken shit heel, and Coachman's like, fuck this. Do forearms.
Speaking of, well, of course, Coach had come back, but ESPN hires Joe Tess is starting next Monday, right?
You're very excited about this. Not in the sense that you're excited he's going to be good. You're just interested.
I love him in college football, but I can totally see, like, I know, Alex, you said you didn't like him in boxing, so I can totally see him, like, I don't know. How do we feel about this here? Like,
the saddest part of all this is that Adam Cole doesn't work for the WWF anymore because we were robbed of Joe Tessitore saying Adam Cole, baby.
I'll give it time. It's
what, they hired ring crew?
It's I think he'll be very good because he's a fan. And I also think, to be completely honest, we are not used to the highest standard of announcing in professional wrestling at this point. And I think him having any kind of personality or color will pop us huge.
I'm not going to lie, like, I'm cracking up thinking about him, like, the Terror Twins. Like, some shit, you know, like with Joe's.
I think it's going to roll. Him doing Uncle Howdy.
Who's his partner going to be?
Do we know?
Wade?
I think it's Corey.
Corey. Put your ones up, Corey. The bloodline's here.
Talking about Tangaloa?
Oh no, it's Wade.
Oh fuck!
Someone said it's Wade.
I don't know if that's better or worse. Actually, now I thought about it.
I was glad.
I like Wade or not. I don't know if I like him or not. I don't know.
Thought it was awesome. JR was on the call for the main event.
He was good too.
Was he good? Yeah.
Yeah.
We called him Daniel Bryan like 5 times.
That's awesome.
Well,
Beast.
His thing, like, people say JR is old. Well, I am old. Fuck it.
When he does one match, and it's something he really cares about, man. He's still good.
He's the greatest ever.
I like what
he was shooting on AEW on like Thursday, where he was like, "I don't like what they're doing in the ring."
As he should. Fuck it, he's earned it, dude.
He at one point said, paraphrasing, but he said Swerve has to beat Danielson to prove that he's truly the man or whatever, and Taz got mad.
He's the champ, yeah.
Yeah, Taz is like, he's the world champion.
Jim's cool and
Taz drives me nuts now on commentary. Like, he gets so like
he's very interesting experience.
He just argues with everybody, dude. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
It's funny, like, sometimes, but he sometimes does it with Shivani, like, to the expense of the match. Like, he'll just be like arguing with Tony about some. It's not important, man. Like, just leave it. He's very funny, but like,
yeah, it is funny. It's just like,
yeah,
come on, dude.
Jim did that too.
Go.
Jim did that to Tony a couple times last night too.
The one Jim did where
just mock him.
The one Jim did where there was a power bomb and Excalibur was like a bomb, and Jim was like, look like a power bomb to me, kid. What's a Liger bomb?
You mean a Batista bomb?
Or when Swerve won the world's title and Jim Ross followed it with, congratulations to Samoa Joe on being a great world champion.
When JR was still on TV every week, it was hilarious. Like, especially like, I remember watching like the COVID shows at Daly's place, and Rick Knox, of course, is fucking reffing a fucking Young Bucks match, and JR's like, well, I mean, who the hell knows who the legal man is?
After the match last night, Tony said something about how he was glad he was here to witness this or something like that. And JR just sarcastically goes, "We're glad too, Tony." And then Tony just ignored it too, because then he transitioned into calling Danielson the greatest wrestler he's ever seen.
I'll never forget when Punk had his foot injury after he beat Hangman, and Eddie Kingston was gone for a while, or whatever, or something like that. None of JR's favorites were on TV for weeks, and then Eddie Kingston came back before Blood and Guts. I don't remember the timeline. I don't know if I'm accurate on that.
Lost his mind.
And then JR goes, "Hey Eddie, where you been?" Where you been? He's like, "Thank God there's a good wrestler here."
Monty's favorite one was Joe was working like Josh Woods or someone on Rampage for whatever reason, and JR inexplicably started to talk about how Bill Watts would have used Joe in Mid-South.
I can't get over when JR decided he liked the way Buddy Matthews looked and just fantasy booked his college football career live on air.
He got really into Buddy for a minute there.
Yeah, he did.
Was really excited. He thought he was like a world champion and stuff. Yep. It was adorable. Been there. They are going to Australia.
I know. They listed in that little Renee and RJ and Daddy Magic.
He's definitely the world champion of something. He's engaged to Rhea Ripley, so
married now.
Yeah, married. That's
married.
Right. Married,
they were listing all the Australian wrestlers and forgot him, so that bode well.
Oh God!
Off to a
hell of a start.
Kyle Fletcher.
Who else?
I don't remember who.
Chris Jericho.
That'll be fun.
Australians are there on that roster?
Matches to watch. I better get out of here.
Yeah, you need. I'm telling you, I'm gonna wake up to a message about Fatal 4-Way, but Great Balls of Fire match is actually very nice. Enjoy that, Oracle. All right, mate.
All right, fellas.
See you tomorrow, bud.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.
They did mention Harley Cameron, yeah. Tony Storm, obviously. Good God.
Is Tony Australian or is she New Zealand?
Yes, she's Australian, isn't she?
I think she was born in New Zealand and moved to Australia real early.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, because they take that shit very seriously.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Jay White's definitely New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Jay White, yeah.
Because his moves like the Kiwi Crusher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I miss Jay White. I like Jay White.
Tony was born in New Zealand, but she has Australian citizenship.
Okay.
So she's both. Mark Davis, they mentioned him too. They mentioned Mark Davis, but not Buddy Matthews.
Who the fuck is Mark Davis?
The other half of Aussie Open.
Ironically, you look a lot like him right now.
But they can't fucking mention Boudreaux. Ridiculous.
It's gonna be really funny when someone goes back and watches that and they mentioned him and I just missed it. And I've done this whole bit for no reason.
That wouldn't be like us. All those Jim Ross quotes definitely were real. All right, we'll start winding down here. Alex, I assume you've still got to watch all the grappler matches, right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You guys are nuts, dude. You're nuts.
It's better for what we do. It gives me just a more focused.
Yeah.
And for this one, we're doing Alexa Bliss, so I got to be real focused. And yeah, do that on my lunch break, and then before we record tomorrow.
I'm surprised you haven't cancelled on me. After the allegations that we'd ruined the sacred ground of Grin Grappler, I thought you were just gonna just withdraw. I would have respected it.
One of our first episodes was Goldberg. I don't think we're really interested in who people consider the purists of the game. And fittingly enough, or I guess appropriately, this Alexa Bliss thing I think will lead to some pretty interesting discussion about this current generation of wrestling and the methods of training, as I think I'll go into further in tomorrow's episode. I think she's still to this day the success story of their performance center.
You know what's interesting? And I don't want to burn your talking points.
Better than Bianca?
Bianca and Strowman would probably be.
Yeah, Bianca I think would now be. But it's even that crop is different to how they trained. We'll get into it tomorrow. but you can actually watch it evolve. Whereas like, so Bianca's like the middle ground between like an Alexa and the girls they have now. And I don't mean this disrespectfully, they're killing it, but like they are like full on like video game wrestlers, full on. And that's good for the way they produce TV, right? Because they're not going to be calling it in the ring anyway. So who gives a fuck? Like, do as much cool shit as you can do. Kill it. Sol Ruka is going to go over huge. So again, I'm not saying this to disparage, but it is different. Like you can tell that the first crop of NXT women and men, it was much more traditional training, you know? Because Alexa was there when fucking DeMott was there, dude. And that sounds weird and that doesn't compute in your brain, but that's true. Like, so yeah, it's definitely different. And that's just things evolve, right? But
yeah,
it's interesting. There's like a stretch in one of the matches we'll talk about tomorrow where like a couple of the PC girls wrestle and it just looks like a 90s TV match. It's kind of weird now through modern eyes, but we'll cover it. We're also inevitably going to cover how much the WWE fucking sucked in those years because it did fucking suck. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, and
very sad.
Like when you sent the match listing, I was like, Alexa and Asuka were tag champions, and then you kind of started like setting up the scenario for the Saudi match. So pretty intrigued going into it. But yeah, I'm sorry that we killed the territory by bringing Alexa Bliss, but
that's fine. We'll be okay.
Just hang around till January with Grin Grappler Shane McMahon because
we'll revive it.
Yeah,
I've already looked ahead to next month, and there's an incredible Grin Grappler option available. We'll cover that tomorrow, 9 Eastern. Novi, do you have any final words, any plugs, any promotions?
I make YouTube videos at Noviak. The main event of All In moved me so much. I wasn't even gonna upload this week because I was just like, you know, you need those little times. But that main event moved me so much. I'm gonna talk about it, and I've never done that before, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be on Saturday.
I love it. Looking forward to that. Caden Lee, where are you? What towns are you making this week for Wrestle Purist and Fightful, both rival firms?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Caden, KADEN_FTW. On Wrestle Purist on Saturday, I put out my Bryan Danielson feature, 2024, the year of the American Dragon. So go check that out. I talked about like 4 of his greatest moment or best matches of the year, and I also previewed the All In match. So I'll eventually have a part 2 out on that. That's going to have more information, hoping to do something really cool with it. And talk about All In as well and winning the championship. But yeah, that's a big thing I have. And then on Saturday, sometime that morning, I'll be on Fightful Select for the Bash in Berlin pre-show.
Bro, if you said watch along, I was going to fucking nuke this stream.
No.
You are welcome on that also. Especially if you end the Fightful Select pre-show by being like, well,
yeah, plug it for us there at the end.
That'll go over great.
Got it.
I think I can announce this. Can I announce this?
Sure.
I'll be on Fightful like next week, dude. Don't tell anyone though, in case I can't announce it. But when I go, I need the LNG universe to like really, we need to be like, at least like a campaign. We need to hijack the chat. We all need to post the CM Punk Hell Froze Over shirts, the whole deal.
The Joe movement.
Yeah, we need to really swing,
Links
swing big.
to our YouTube channel over and over again.
Yeah.
That'll go well.
It'll be sick. So that's sometime next week. I don't know when, but that'll be happening. Don't tell anyone.
Just
confirm
copy
shoot.
and paste Alex tweets and put them in the chat.
Confirm shoot.
Yes.
Do you have anything to promote, mate? I know the Bengals must be starting up here soon, right?
A couple weeks still.
Yeah.
Buckeyes play this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday afternoon. If you're not doing anything else or watching the match in Berlin Grinalong, you can watch Ohio State football.
Are you going to be doing that college football show or not?
No, probably not.
Wow.
Hilariously.
Bully the guys into doing it. There you go.
4-8.
My thing.
But yeah, hilariously, I had considered doing the Bash in Berlin, whatever it's called. Is that what it's called? Bash in Berlin? Okay. I'd actually considered doing that Grinalong and breaking my streak of not watching the World Wrestling Federation. And then I discovered that Ohio State played at the same time, so it got me out of it, saved myself.
Yep.
So the streak lives. But yeah, what else is going on this weekend? Collision. Final Final race of the NASCAR regular season. We got to see if Bubba Wallace is going to make the playoffs.
That's where I draw the line. I'm not doing this NASCAR shit, dude. This is the most ridiculous beer
It's not a bit.
Yes, it fucking is a beer, and you know it's a beer. You pretend
not
it
a
isn't.
bit.
But the cut line got blown up this weekend.
I bought my Shane Van Gisbergen 88 hat today.
Hell yeah.
I bought a trucker cap, which I don't like trucker caps. It's all they had, so I bought it. Yeah, the race on Saturday fucking ruled, man. Joe Cars flipped in the air, and it was crazy.
Flips. They don't normally do that anymore.
I know. It was a sight to see, my friend. And then some dude won and ruined our playoff hopes of our driver. So
boo.
It's looking touch and go.
It sure is.
It is. Yeah. But we're hoping Bubba Wallace can still make it.
We sure are.
We're Team Bubba Wallace here at the Late Night Grin.
We are.
We should get it. We should see if we could get our logo on his car. I wonder how much that would cost.
Definitely not competitive market or anything.
Not like the full hood thing, but just like the little.
Yeah, you can get one on the back. And it's like not that much, I think. I don't think it's like that crazy. I'm like Xfinity cars and stuff.
Oh, there we go. Get it on Shane's card. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll look into this. Take that at Bob's cut.
Matt, figure out how to make LNG air fresheners, and then so like you can put it on his rear view, and then get it on TV that way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good call. They don't have rear view mirrors anymore, but.
That's right,
dude. He tried his best.
It's been a long time since I watched NASCAR.
I'm a piece of shit, man. I can't help myself.
He met you in the middle on that, dude. I wasn't going to try. That was a good effort. All right, Alex. So
they have in-car cameras, and they got like the bumper stickers on the dash. Maybe we could get that.
Little
We're not
grinny.
doing any of this. We're not doing any of it.
Slap it on their helmet or
Why
something.
not?
Why would we? If we decided we're actually going to spend money on marketing and promoting our brand, let's go to NASCAR and go. Why would that be our first choice?
We could get on the GCW, Matt. You know.
Fucking right, we could.
No,
we could be on.
Absolutely not.
I got JBL now, man.
Do it for the JBL Effie match.
Well, hold on.
God. JBL pins him and then leaves and doesn't give it back.
I'm going to be honest. I can't do it for an FE match, but there are absolutely JBL matches that I'd fire off a Grinalong for. I'm going to be real with you guys.
Alex, I'm just going to tell you. If JBL jobs the FE, you're never going to hear the end of it.
No.
Like, I am going to.
Why is Alex going to get the shit kicked out?
Because he loves JBL. He's a big JBL guy. Both his matches and his politics.
Yes, relatively. He's not Bret Hart.
I think I'm a bigger JBL fan than Alex, to be honest.
He sends me those audio text messages, and it's just JBL's theme.
Now I'm gonna do that because you gave me that idea.
All right, quick story.
See? That's my favorite driver too.
I told Alex this the other week. I think you were there, Matt. But I was looking through the graphics for LNG Gold, and I had these 2 screenshots saved. And I was like, why have I screenshot the DMs messages? And then I saw where it was, and it was Contrarian Alex, who said, he was just talking in hypotheticals here, folks. He said, imagine Moxley returning to WWE to manage Shayna. That was the first screenshot. I was like, that's not that funny. And the next screenshot was, and I quote, Crosby would shoot ejaculate.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I bring this up because I sent this to you tonight for like no reason. And I got back a voice message that was just him yelling at the top, just laughing for about 10 seconds. Shoot is such an unnecessary part of that message, and it makes it so much fun. Anyway.
What's that Tokyo Dome Wrestle Kingdom show called? Wrestle Dynasty? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John Moxley versus Bobby Lashley. Pride rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
I need
it. Josh Barnett's definitely going to try.
People need to learn a lesson.
Oh yeah.
Do you know when Barnett got on the Wrestle Dream show, and he wrestled Claudio and afterwards gave him a speech like he was a young upstart?
Yes.
He got a lot of potential, kid.
Yes. He was also not mad, but when asked about his experience, he was like, I don't understand why I had to come out first and not to my own theme music. Yeah. He was like, it's so good. It's so fucking Barnett. He's just like, and not Jim. It's Josh. And he's like, I'm the challenge for Claudio. I'm the final boss that he's here to face, and I'm in the ring waiting for him to come down. And Errol Hawani's just there like, yeah.
I finished that 3-hour Loki interview, fellas. Did it? Great done.
Baby.
Hey.
At one point, I sent Matt the video, but he explains, like, Rene Dupree is interviewing him, Alex, and he's like, so are you still working? Like, you pick spots? And Loki goes, oh, yeah, I'm very selective, which you know what that means.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but I have, over the last 5 weeks, called out all 5 of the world champions currently in America. And I paused the video because I'm laughing so much. The ways that I called them out. And then I found that he'd done, like, tweets, like, at Gunter. Like, when you're ready, bro. Like, bloody... But he's doing an interview. Now, I want to be clear here. This is a 3-hour interview. And for 90% of it, he's talking about wrestling like it's work. But then, out of nowhere, he starts talking about how he, like, beat Gunter up. He's like, I pushed him to the limit.
The best part of these...
Selling the matches.
Joe sends me these clips, and, like, you can see Renee getting progressively more annoyed and trying not to show it. Like, by the one clip you sent me about him challenging the champions, he was so done.
Yeah, because it's like, what you... And then he goes, he's talking about, like, Swerve. And he's like, the last time Swerve and I were in this... I can't do his voice. The last time Swerve and I were in the same place, he was the MLW champion, and they had to do a conference call to get me to come in and save the promotion. I was fucking howling, and he's like, the MLW champion's Kojima, and he's throwing bread. He's like, when I was in MLW, I was the locker room leader. I set the standard. There wasn't that silliness. We were a sport. It's like, this dude's, I mean,
out to lunch.
It was crazy the way he was. And the last question he gets is the British brother who looks like me and is very tired. He goes, do you have any thoughts on TNA and WWE working together? Loki goes, I think I beat them all regardless, so no, I don't have any thoughts. Unbelievable stuff. He's also wearing, like, he's in full gimmick with, like, the tie and the...
Alex,
I recommend.
He spiked business for TNA in 2017.
Yes, he also claimed he did that, yes. He said he was red hot and spiked business. And he said he went past the X Division and was a main eventer. And then Jeff Jarrett put him back in the X Division and he complained. And Jeff said to him, just trust me. And, like, put his hands in his chest, like, patted him on the chest, just trust me. And Key claims that he stormed off, went up to Conan and said, where I come from, people like that get killed. About Double J, Jeff Jarrett, which is one of the funniest visuals imaginable. The one guy who wants to give him a job in wrestling and he fucking hates him. This piece of shit Jeff Jarrett has brought me into 8 different promotions now.
And that's a shame he couldn't make that opportunity X Division work, because of course in the X Division it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits.
Yeah,
true.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. That's a good call. Good call. Especially in 2017, I imagine it was red hot after it spiked business. The 5 champions were Kojima in MLW, EC3 in the NWA, Swerve Strickland. He didn't call that Cody. Swerve Strickland, Gunter, and Nick Nemeth. And the Nemeth one was like, he like victory lapped about knocking him out in that WWE match. He actually said, I knocked you out in the pervert company, which is a very baseline, I will concede.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
The interviews on, I don't know what Renee's pod's called. I haven't got, like, let me be clear, because someone might say this. I mean, God bless, it's very funny. I watched the whole thing. And like, Renee's...
Joe just realized he's going to get beat up.
I'm very concerned now. Not about Loki. I don't care about Loki. I don't think he can fly, but Renee...
You're going to be in Vegas.
He won't be. Renee. I don't know a lot about Renee, but I always feel bad for him because he signed when he was so young at the worst time to work in that company. Yeah, and like we all talk about that was the worst era for that locker room culture, right? Like the bullying and the bullshit. So, you know, I'm glad they're doing a pod and whatever. And I don't listen, but God bless.
Joe, you didn't mention that these are videos that he put on his Twitter.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh my
so
God,
he did
videos?
Yeah, they're promo videos.
You have to scroll through a lot of like vaccination talk and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we follow Bob. We're used to that.
Yeah, we are. All right. I was meant to do this like 20 minutes ago. Alex, you're going to have a chance to do tomorrow, but promote stuff, brother. Go for it. The Contrarians. Tell them.
Yeah, we are the contrarians.com at Contrarian Prime on Instagram, all social media platforms at Contrarian Prime, patreon.com
Truth
/Contrarian
Social.
Prime, Truth Social. That's Bob runs the account over there.
Did you know they're
Yeah.
called retruths? How cool is that?
That shit's hilarious.
Fuck.
But yeah,
You still on the TNA Street team?
me? No. I turned in my card about 18 years ago. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're bordering on 20 years now.
He's
But anyway,
paper
yeah.
for Wrestle Circus now.
God. Have I ever told you when I met Sammy Guevara at the Noel Gallagher concert? And
what the fuck?
So it was before AEW, and he was like, I had a few drinks, if you can believe it, and I saw him at the bar, and I was like, "Hey, Sammy Guevara, your match at Bola this year was really good. I really liked it." And he's like, "Oh," and he takes his phone out, and like this is when I guess he was doing that video blog that he was like documenting his travels around the world. He takes his phone out, and he's like, selfie video, and he goes like, "Hey, I'm here at Noel Gallagher concert. I just met a fan here in Austin who you obviously know me from Wrestle Circus." And I go, "Man, fuck Wrestle Circus." and I go, "Fuck that shit, dude. I know you from PWG and ACW and Inspire and the places you wrestled around here." And then he like, as I'm saying this, he just takes his phone down and puts it in his pocket, and he's like, "All right, see ya."
How have you not told me that story? That's extraordinary.
Yeah, it was
incredible. Yeah, like that. I was not expecting that first sentence at all.
Yeah, it was very random, but that was not ACW. What was it? RCW was the San Antonio promotion he wrestled in, and he had already at that point had a reputation for being difficult / an asshole, and but yeah, the Wrestle Circus thing was a bridge too far. I was like, "Fuck that, man."
Yeah, you gotta stand for something.
That's right.
I mean, in that scenario, it sounds like you were the difficult asshole, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah.
Or the contrarians, as you were saying.
The hilarious thing was the match I was putting over that he had that I really liked that year was him and Joey Janela at Bola. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
There you go. It is good. Janela takes a burning hammer onto a chair and it looks amazing because Janela still to this day doesn't really care about his well-being. I sent Matt a clip from the GCW show
for real.
where he did a dive and like his hip just hit the table and his head just smashed into the concrete.
I honestly, I did a big sell when you said the match, but I actually like have enjoyed many Joey Janela matches, if I'm being honest. But I just don't talk about it a lot.
Fair enough. And fuck Wrestle Circus.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Did you promote the Contrarians? I can't even remember if you promoted it. No, you did.
Yeah, I started to. I'll have a better pitch because I'm blanking on what we've been recording.
That's fine. But the movie talk, folks.
Yes.
Because I know there'll be a different audience that sees this to Green Grappler Pro, especially Green Grappler Alexa Bliss. So if you enjoy the Towers of the Great Contrarian Alex and you're a movie fan, I mean, I love the Contrarians, like legitimately. I don't listen to a ton of wrestling pods, so it's great to have one of my wrestling pals talk about something that isn't wrestling. It pops me very much. Because if Alex had a wrestling podcast, I would avoid it at all costs. It would be terrible for me.
You should.
Yeah, it's the same way you should avoid mine.
Just yell into the wind.
Yeah. Imagine how mad Alex would get watching a Hulbert House show, just hearing all my lies.
Here's my weekly comparison of AEW's TV rating versus TNA's rating in the same week.
You know what? I'm making points. You know,
There's money in that, bro. I've seen a lot of people pull that kind of thing off. Every time they do a TNA show, Jeff and Conrad does this. Like he does it every time. Like he's never said it before. He goes, you know, people criticize TNA, but there's some promotions that would kill for those ratings now. And Jeff goes, well, you said it, not me.
My favorite is Connie when he does that like long dramatic pause and then calls to him. Oh, thank you.
There you go. There you go. Some love for the Contrarians. Go support the Contrarians. You may even see like an LNG crossover thing. Honestly, more than an LNG crossover, what you may see is an unfathomable wrestling Twitter crossover, which could be box office. So stay tuned. But this show, folks, has been a very special one. We've had a great time. It's not been on for over 2 hours. It's flown by. we've had a bunch of people watching the whole time too. So please like the video, and we really want to thank, especially so, everyone who dived in right away. That was quite I must say, Alex arrived just as it was happening. It was quite the thrill to watch the chat fill with that for us. That was quite a unique experience.
Thank you, everyone.
So we really appreciate the support. I will probably tomorrow's Grinner Grappler, I would expect there to be an LNG Gold stream on Wednesday, just because it's popped me the support. So I'll probably just do that, like a % random. Maybe it'll be a Dynamite thing. What's on Dynamite this week? Is it good?
Kyle Fletcher and Ricochet.
Huh?
That's all we
I
know.
might watch Dynamite.
Danielson promo.
I might watch Dynamite.
Danielson Christian promo.
There you go. I might watch Dynamite. We'll see. I'll lock that in for you guys once we're through tomorrow night. I see how I'm feeling after that Green Grappler. Usually after the post shows, it's like 10 a.m. here, so we'll see how we go. But hopefully, and either way, we do know that this Friday, live, 11:05 Eastern, the Late Night Grin 124, I believe, Bash in Berlin preview. But now those previews are going to hit a little different, because then live the next day, whenever that show is, it's going to be in the afternoon in the States. The Grinalong, Bash in Berlin, which we now know the great Ebu of Wrestle Purists will be on. So that's the Grinner Circle tier, folks. Remember, $5.99. You get to watch some wine graps with myself, Ebu, and friends. That is going to be a hell of a time this Saturday. So I think that covers everything, right, for now?
Yep. We have a new outro. Joe's actually going to play it this time.
Yep. Yeah, last time I lied. I didn't play it. So we're going to play that in a second. So please like the video, subscribe. Thank you to everyone who signed up for LNG Gold. If you are still unsure what it is we're offering, below this video in the description, I think we put all that stuff. So, and also another thing too is anyone who has any questions about LNG Gold stuff, feel free to at me, DM me, or whatever, and I've got back to I think everyone, because I know that there's like, you kind of assume because we've talked about it gradually, right? Like we're going to do a membership thing, but obviously there's a lot of information coming at once. So if you have any questions, just ask me. And speaking of such, one last thing, we're still figuring out the audio situation. So one thing we can do is we can make a Google Drive for each month, and we can put the audio files in there, because I think if you can download the audio file, you can play it like a podcast on an iPhone, or I don't know if you can do it on other phones. I know you can do it on iPhone for sure. That would allow us to upload the audio for you guys. I don't know if that'll work or not. If not, we'll probably just upload them on delay on the main feed. We'll see. All right. So,
don't forget to leave comments on this video.
Comment on the video.
Leave your star rating for Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné.
Please do. But don't write what it is. Just literally put your star rating.
Just a star rating, nothing else.
Yeah.
That'll look great when someone stumbles upon the video and thinks it's a bunch of people giving us 1 star on our video, but it's fine.
Yeah. JJ Williams.
Yes.
You actually just say it as coffee, don't you?
Oh.
I
think so, yeah.
Ko-Fi. I don't know. It feels.
See, I always used to say Ko-Fi, but it is like the coffee gimmick, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, you should support JJ Williams and all his endeavors. The great JJ Williams. So go do that. He's on the Twitter gimmick at JJ Williams WON, which is not a reference to any wrestling website, just is JJ Williams 1. He's famous for victory. So go support him, support his coffee, Ko-Fi, or Ko-Fi, depending on your preference. All right. With that in mind, we love you. We're going to leave you there. We're going to see you tomorrow. Grin Grappler, Alexa Bliss, discussing one of the great technicians of our sport. Keep grinning, all hail, and enjoy this new outro for real this time. Have a good night, folks. Bye.